Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, everyone, wherever you're at in the world. Welcome to Last Rouse Baseball's live commentary of the Nippon Professional Baseball League. We are bringing you tonight the game between the Orix Buffaloes and the Tohoku Rakuten Golden Eagles. As we have a couple of our friends in the chat here, Chase and Zach, I'll answer some of that questions once I get through the lineups here of the two ball clubs here tonight. We have first of all, we'll give you the starting lineups for the visitors from Orix. Leading off and playing in right field is number 61, Tokamasa Chano. Batting second in left field is number 1, Shuhei Fukuda. Batting third in center field is number 67, Kai Nakagawa. And the cleanup spot and doing the designated hitting is number 23, Frank Schwindel. Batting in the 5 spot is number 6, and playing third base, Yuma Mune. Batting in the 6th spot and playing first base is number 44, Yuma Tongu. Batting 7th and playing second base is number 8, Marwin Gonzalez. Batting 8th and doing the catching is number 2, Kenya Wakatsuki. And batting 9th and playing shortstop is number 53, Sho Gibbo. And they're going to be facing Takayuki Kishi, who takes to the mound with a 1-1 record. He has worked 21 innings. He's allowed 22 hits, 11 runs, all of which have been earned. He has walked 10 and struck out 14, and he's got an ERA of 4.71. Well, that is the starting lineup for the visitors from Osaka. And now the starting lineup for the hometown Tohoku Rakuten Golden Eagles. Leading off and playing second base is number 0, Hiroto Kobakata. Batting second in left field is number 35, Hiroki Shimochi. Batting third and playing first base is number 39, Yukiya Ito. And the cleanup spot and doing the designated hitting is number 3, Hideto Asamura. Batting fifth and in center field is number 27, Takiro Okajima. Batting 6th and doing the catching is number 26, Jinjiro Sumatani. Batting 7th in right field is number 51, Yuya Ogo. Batting 8th and playing third base is number 23, Mikhail Franco. And batting 9th and at shortstop is number 34, Tsuyoshi Yamazaki. And they're going to be facing, it is going to be Daiki Tajima, who takes to the hill for the Buffaloes. He's got a 3-2 record. He's worked 30 2/3 innings. He's allowed 29 hits. He's walked 8, struck out 23, and he's given up 14 runs, all of which have been earned. And he's got an ERA of 4.11. Well, those are your starting lineups. And so to answer a couple of the folks in the chat, they were saying, where can we get a live stream? Well, first of all, we can't post you any links in the chat, but our friend Shotgun Shell says he's given you the piece to Google, Live QQ. That'll be able to take you there. Unfortunately, it's in Chinese, so you're going to have to be able to navigate through the script. It takes a little bit of time to do it, but they are going to be there for you. And that is one spot. The reliability is a little bit questionable. A couple of other folks, when they come into the stream, there's a fellow who's a regular here, Alexander Leggett. He could direct you to a couple other ones. There are some betting houses that if you have a membership, will allow you to be able to watch the game live through your computer. Once you open an account with that, I want to say it was BetX or Bet2X or something along those lines. There are other spots as well that you can pick it up. Obviously, the Pacific League, DAZN, Japan, depending if you have a VPN or not. So hopefully some of that will help you. Most of the commentary is not in English. It is in Japanese. So if you are like some of the folks here, they find the ball game, and then what they do is they sync up our feed and listen along as it goes along. Well, that is what we have here. We'll be back in 30 seconds as Kishi is just beginning his warm-up tosses, and we'll be ready to get this one underway in just a couple. We appreciate you guys for being here with us. We'll be right back in 30 after this.
Hello, this is Eric Fox, formerly of the Oakland A's and Texas Rangers baseball teams. If you want to learn about Japanese baseball, see Coach Fred of Last Raps Baseball. If you want baseball instruction, see Coach Fred. If you want to learn about golf, do not go to Coach Fred. Fred, what kind of club is this?
At Last Raps Baseball, we know baseball. Welcome back, everybody. We are moving here to the top of the first inning. It is a beautiful, sunshiny day in Tohoku. Unfortunately, there is a sparse crowd in attendance for this matinee affair. It is a 2 o'clock first pitch, but a beautiful day it is nonetheless. The Buffaloes are in their dark tops and their white pants, and it is the all-white uniform with the maroon trim for the Eagles. And the first pitch is on the way as Kishi delivers a fastball taken for a called strike. The count is quickly 0-1 to Tokamasa Chano. Chano on the season is batting .307. He's got no homers and 7 runs batted in. As Kishi goes into the motion and delivers, it is a breaking ball that catches the inside corner, and the count is now 0-2 to Chano. So way ahead here in the early going is the right-hander Kishi. Kishi rocking into the windup. He kicks and delivers. There's a fastball swung on. This ball is knifed foul down the third base line, just past the third base coach. That is going to keep the count at no balls and 2 strikes. We called the game last night between the Giants and the Bay Stars, and Trevor Bauer got roughed up in his time on the mound. There's a fastball swung on. It is grounded through the 4-hole past the glove of the second baseman Kobakata, and Chano's going to be aboard with a 2-strike single as he will lead off the ball game here in the first inning, and that's going to bring up the left fielder Shuhei Fukuda. These two teams played one another last night, opening in their series, and the Buffaloes got the best of the Eagles with a 2-0 victory. It was Miyagi getting the win over Hayakawa. Both pitchers pitched fairly well. Miyagi was just better. As this is going to be game 2 of the series tonight. We'll be back on the airwaves again, same time tomorrow night with these same 2 ball clubs. So if you are around, be sure to bookmark the channel and jump back in with us so you guys can hang out with us as well. Here comes the first offering. The left-handed hitting Fukuda. And Kishi throws over to first base and diving back in time as the base runner. This is an opportunity where we get to see if they're going to bunt or not, as that is how we have stuff here. So Fukuda at the plate here with Chano, the runner, at first, as Kishi works to the set position. And now he kicks and delivers. It's a fastball that misses outside, and the count is 1-0. Our friend Zach says that he forgot Schwindel is in Japan. Yeah. And, he is not quite hitting with the average I would have expected him to have. He's hitting .205 at the moment. But he is driving in runs when he's had the opportunity to be in the lineup. He is a run producer for sure. Here's the 1-0 pitch now to Fukuda as Kishi delivers a breaking ball that drops in for a called strike, and the count is 1-1 strike. So 1-1 strike to Fukuda. The catcher tonight, Sumatani, looks over to the bench to get the pitch from the coaches as he's ready to go. Here is Kishi. So 1-1 strike as the right-hander works to the set. And now he kicks and delivers. It's a fastball swung on it. It is popped up into shallow center field. Coming in on it is the center fielder, and backing up on it is the second baseman Kobakata, and he's going to make the catch. That's going to retire Fukuda for the first out of the inning. That'll bring up the center fielder Kai Nakagawa. Well, for Nakagawa, he's hitting .292 on the season. He's got 4 homers and 14 RBIs. Bats from the right side here against the right-handed throwing Kishi. Defensively tonight for the Eagles, it'll be Shimouchi in left. The center fielder is Okajima, and in right field it is Ogo. Around the horn from first to third for the Golden Eagles, Ito is at first, Kobakata at second. The shortstops, Yamazaki and Franco, is at third. The battery of Kishi and Sumatani. And now Kishi kicks and delivers. There's a fastball swung on and is lifted foul behind home plate. It's going to run the count quickly to 0-1 to Nakagawa. Nakagawa has had himself a pretty steady season thus far. He got off to a really hot start. He cooled off for a little bit, but he has been flirting with the 300 mark for most of the season. As the right-hander Kishi checks the runner at first, Chano, he's got a healthy lead. And the right-hander Kishi holds set. Now he kicks and delivers. There's a breaking ball that misses down, and the count is 1-1. Our friend Arizona Cardinals is in the house tonight. He says, who do you have for this one? And I would agree with Zach. Zach says Orix, and we agree too. I think the Buffaloes are the better ball club, and the Eagles really have not played good baseball this year so far. A little disappointing for that group. I'd have to say if there's a manager in the hot seat, it's got to be the Tohoku manager. Here's the 1-1 pitch. It's a fastball swung on. This ball is line foul just past the third base dugout. Runner Chano was on the run on that one too. That was a really long swing by Nakagawa. So 1-2 strikes. kind of a unique stadium in Tohoku there. It almost looks like in some ways that it was built in pieces, where, in other words, it was built and then they've added on and they've added on. But it's a neat looking park. As the 1-2 pitch is on the way as Kishi holds set. And now he delivers. It's a fastball swung on. It is popped up on the infield. It's on the left side. It is Yamazaki who's calling for it. He's underneath it and he makes the catch. And that is going to retire Fukuda or Nagakagawa for the second out of the inning. Both he and Fukuda popped up here the last two batters. Our friend Arizona Cardinal asks, are both starting pitchers solid? I don't think that Kishi is having, either one of these guys are having a good start to the season. Daiki Tajima, I think, would have the edge in my eyes at being the better arm. But he has been roughed up at times this year. He's been giving up too many hits, and he's also served up too many earned runs. So his ERA is north of 4, as is Kishi. So here comes the first offering. And there goes the runner. It's a breaking ball. The throw down to second. It's not going to be in time. Chano's going to get himself a stolen base as he slides in there safely. I'll have to see what the call was on the pitch to Schwindel here. Schwindel, who's batting, he's hitting .205 with a homer and 10 RBIs. At first pitch, he did take the breaking ball for a called strike. It looked like it was a bit up in the zone, to be fair here. I didn't know if that was actually going to be a good enough pitch at that point. So we're waiting here on the offering as we just have a little bit of a pause. We have temporarily lost the feed, and that looks like it's going to be the end of the inning here as Kishi's getting high fives as he returns to the dugout. And that is going to do it here. We temporarily lost our feed, and that is going to retire Schwindel for the third out of the inning. No runs in the inning. There was a hit, no errors, and there was one runner left aboard. Your score at the end of a half inning, it is the Orix Buffaloes 0 and the Tohoku Rakuten Golden Eagles coming to bat. Stick around, everybody. We'll be back in just a moment. Appreciate you guys for bouncing in here with us tonight. Golden Eagles, Buffaloes baseball. More after this. Final out of the inning was Schwindel popping out to the catcher. And that is where we had that last out. We will be back in 30 with all the action. Hang tight, everybody. Welcome back, everybody. Daiki Tajima has completed his warm-up tosses, and we're ready to get this one back underway. It'll be Hiroto Kobakata, Hiroki Shimochi, and Yukiya Ito to come to bat here in the bottom of the first to face them. Defensively tonight for the Buffaloes, in the outfield from left to right, it is Fukuda in left. The center fielders Nakagawa and Chano is in right. Around the horn from first to third, it is Tongu at first. Gonzalez is at second. The shortstop is Gimbo, and the third baseman is Yumamune with the battery of Tajima and Wakatsuki. So here comes the first offering here to Kobakata as the lefty works from the set with nobody on. And now he kicks and delivers. It's a breaking ball that drops in for a called strike, and the count is 0-1 to Kobakata. Kobakata batting .257 on the year. He's got a homer and 5 RBIs. He can run a little bit. He's got 8 stolen bases on the year. As the lefty kicks and delivers, there's a breaking ball swung on, and it was fought off on the fists here by Kobakata as he fouled it away over on the third base side. No balls and 2 strikes to the Eagles' second baseman. Left-hander against the left-hander. Tajima holds set at the belt. And now he kicks and delivers. It's a fastball swung on it. It is lifted foul behind home plate, and the count remains at 0-2. So no balls and 2 strikes. It was almost a self-defense swing there by the left-handed hitting second baseman. He does a really good job. He's got excellent bat-to-ball skills. As the lefty delivers, there's a breaking ball that is swung on and missed. And Kobakata is gone here for out number 1 in the first inning, and that's going to bring up the left fielder, Hiroki Shimouchi. After I, of course, deal him a compliment, then the next thing you know is he ends up going down on strikes. Unfortunately for him, and that is he's gone for out number 1. That is going to bring up Shimouchi, who's really struggled at the beginning of this season. He's batting .191, and he's got himself a couple of homers and 10 runs batted in. And Shimouchi, the first offering to him is a fastball that misses for a ball, and the count is quickly 1-0 to Hiroki Shimouchi. Shimouchi batting from the left side against the left-handed throwing Tajima. You certainly don't shy away from rolling lefties out against left-handed pitching. There's a fastball taken for a called strike, and the count now is 1-1. So 1 ball and 1 strike it is. Lefty Tajima not in any particular hurry. As he kicks and delivers, there's a fastball swung on it. It is lifted in the air into shallow left center field. Coming in on it is the center fielder Nakagawa. He's got time and space, and he makes the grab. And that is going to retire Shimouchi for the second out of the inning. So 2 up and 2 away. It's going to leave it up to the first baseman, Yukiya Ito. So interesting that Ito is getting the start in the third spot batting order in this game. He's hitting .278. He's got a homer and 1 RBI. He is 10 for 36 in the early going this year. As the lefty Tajima delivers, there's a fastball that misses for a ball, and the count is quickly 1-0. Ito, in a limited amount of at-bats, is one of the few players that is actually swinging the bat. He's got the highest listed batting average in the game, and then Takeru Okajima is got the next highest average. There's a fastball that misses outside. The count is now 2-0. Eagles have really struggled to hit this year. They've not had the productivity from some of their big guns that one would expect. As there is a breaking ball that misses down, and the count now goes to 3-0 to Ito. Thinking of Asamura and Shimouchi hitting below the Mendoza line. Both of those players were really feeding off each other the last couple of years. Mikael Franco has dropped to 8th in the batting order. He's hitting below a .190. Here comes the 3-0 pitch to Ito as Tajima kicks and delivers. There's a fastball taken for a called strike, and the count is now 3-1. But if those are the 3 players that were expected to be the meat of the batting order, well, there's not a lot of meat on the bones right now this year. Here comes the 3-1 pitch. And as a fastball that swung on it missed, the count is now 3-2. Our friend Zach asks, he says, is the live QQ an overlay of the Japanese broadcast as the scoreboard in Japanese? That would be a question maybe if Shotgun Shell was still in here. He can maybe give you some of that guidance, as that's not the one I'm using tonight. There is a fastball that is swung on and fouled away. The count remains at 3-2. Sometimes they do a Japanese broadcast. Sometimes it's also in Chinese, depending on the feed, depending upon who is posting that. I'd like to help you more on that, but sometimes I don't know myself. Here comes the 3-2 pitch. There is a breaking ball swung on. This ball is lifted into left field. Coming in on it and making the catch is the left fielder Fukuda, and that is going to do it here, as that is going to end the inning for the Eagles in their half of the first. Well, Ito has flown out to left. No runs, no hits, no errors. Nobody left the board. We are now through 1 complete. It is the Eagles nothing and the Buffaloes nothing. Stick around, everybody. We'll be back in just a couple moments after this. Appreciate you guys for being here with us tonight. It is Japanese baseball, again on the air with Last Raps Baseball.
Well, you've got to have an ace in the hole, a little secret that nobody knows. Life is a gamble, a game we all play, but you've got to save something for a rainy day. You've got to learn to play your cards right if you expect to win in life. Don't put it all on the line for just one roll. You've got to have an ace in the hole.
That's right, everybody. After the game, be sure to check out Matt Hollis and another Hollis build. We'll be back in 30 with all the action right after this. It is Buffaloes and the Eagles tonight. Welcome back, everybody. It is going to be Yuma Mune, Yuma Tongu, and Marwin Gonzalez to come up here to face the right-hander Takayuki Kishi in inning number 2. It is Mune, who is hitting .256 on the season with a homer and 7 RBIs. And the first pitch is on the way. It's a fastball ticket for a called strike, and the count is quickly 0-1. Pressy Persona asks the question, how can I watch the game? Well, you're going to have to scroll up in the chat because some of that information has been given already. As the 0-1 is on the way, it's a fastball that misses outside, and the count now goes to 1-1. So 1 ball and 1 strike. Mune has played some really solid third base. He has been a lockdown glove for the Buffaloes. His bat has, I don't want to say stalled, but it seems to be right kind of where it is in the last couple of years. He swings at a fastball, and he lines that one into right center field. And Mune's got himself a leadoff single here to start the second inning. Back-to-back innings where the Buffaloes have got their leadoff man on. Our friend Shotgun Shell says, all right, I've got 5 on the Eagles here. Oh, boy. That may not necessarily be in our favor then. Maybe that was a donation to somebody other than us, that's for sure. So Tongu steps to the plate. He's had a nice year so far. He's hitting .307 with a homer and 9 RBIs. It was earlier in the season at this ballpark when he got hit in the head with a pitch, and he had to be taken off on a bodyboard. And the pitch is a fastball taken for a called strike, and the count is 0-1. Our friend Prezi says, appreciate the infield, keep it up. And what a lot of people do is they, as we said before, they'll find a feed somewhere, and then they'll sink it into this. There's our friend Jovan in the house tonight. We welcome you back. Thank you for being in here with us tonight. So no balls and 1 strike as Kishi holds set at the belt. And now he kicks and delivers. There's a breaking ball swung on. It is grounded to the left side of the infield, and it's off the glove of Mikhail Franco. He stops it, but there's not going to be a play to be had anywhere. That's going to be a base hit for Tongu. Just to get a glove on it was a nice job there by Franco, but it was really out of his range. That's going to put runners at first and second, and it's going to bring up the second baseman, Marwin Gonzalez. And even if the shortstop, Yamazaki, might have had a chance at it in the 6th hole, I really don't think he would have been able to go across the diamond to make the play. Jovan says, I missed you all. Well, we missed you too, Jovan. We appreciate you for being back in the house here tonight. And we'll be back again on the airwaves tomorrow night with these same 2 teams for an afternoon affair. And if I feel up to it, maybe even not tonight, but maybe tomorrow, we'll even do a double dip because there's a breaking ball that's taken for a called strike. Count is 0-1. Gonzalez on the season hitting .230. He's got 5 homers and 11 RBIs. The switch hitting Buffalo has been pretty solid this year. He's been moved all around the infield. He's played first. He's played second. He has played all the positions as he is waiting here on the offering from Kishi. As we've stalled just a little bit here. Frustrating last few nights. We had stalled out quite a bit in the ball game the other evening. The wind here is blowing in from center field. And we've got no balls and 2 strikes now on Gonzalez as Kishi is ahead in the count here. So here comes the 0-2 offering as the right-hander checks the runner at second and now delivers a fastball that just misses off the inside corner. And now the count goes to 1 ball and 2 strikes. I'm not sure why our feed has been doing that tonight. Not normally expected on this one tonight. Sometimes some of the other ones are pretty good, but we've got both of our stuff set up. Fred Jovan says he took the under 6.5. There is a breaking ball that is swung on and fouled away right at the foot of the catcher, and that's going to keep the count at 1-2. And Jovan also says he hit on the soccer game earlier today. That's awesome. Yeah, I think that was a late goal. I think I saw somebody said. Friend Chase says he put 32-80 to win 70 on the Buffaloes pregame. Shotgun says, I've got the Eagles with him. Oh, boy. Here's the pitch. It's a fastball that misses outside, and the count is now 2-2. Putting money on the Eagles is kind of like throwing money down a sewer hole so far in the early going this year. They've just not played good baseball. It's a little disappointing, too, because when you think about that large winning streak they had last year, they were cruising right along, but really they haven't played good baseball since the middle of the summer. You're hoping, if you're an Eagles fan, that they're going to start to get on a run here. Here's the 2-2 pitch as Kishi checks the runner at second. Now he kicks and delivers. It is a breaking ball swung on and missed. And Gonzalez is down on strikes for the first out of the inning. That is going to bring up the catcher, Kenya Wakatsuki. Fred Shotgun Shell giving us the hockey updates to go with it. The Dallas Stars with a big win tonight. Didn't check any of the hockey outcomes. Just around on a little bit of that. So Wakatsuki steps to the plate. He's hitting .292 in the early going. He's got no homers and 2 RBIs. And I would have thought if it was anybody other than Gonzalez in that spot, they probably would have been bunting. As there is a breaking ball that just misses for ball 1. The count is 1-0. Of course, we know that the fundamental skills of the North Americans and the Latin players, in some ways, when it comes to bunting and hitting runs, they lag behind that of the Asian players, or at least in my opinion, they do. They just don't have those fundamental skills. The Japanese really can bunt the ball. There's a breaking ball swung on it as down the first base line. Giving chase is the first baseman, Ito, but he's going to watch that drift into the seats. That's going to run the count now to 1-1 on Wakatsuki. So 1 ball and 1 strike. When I think of spots where you say, hey, we need to get a bunt done or we need to get that job done, it has almost been a art in North American baseball that has gone awry. Hit and runs, bunts, squeeze, just something you don't see on a regular basis. And they've taken some of that excitement out of the game. Here comes the 1-1. And it's a fastball that just misses inside. The count now goes to 2-1 on Wakatsuki. But a lot of people will say that they enjoy the 3-run homer. They like the home runs that come regular, and there's nothing wrong with that. But the game has changed in North America for sure. So 2 balls and 1 strike to Wakatsuki. The runner at second is Mune. The runner at first is Tongu, as the right-hander holds at the belt. He checks Mune at second. And now he kicks and delivers. It's a breaking ball swung on. This ball is lined into left field. This ball is going to be trouble. It's down and it's off the wall. Shimouchi has picked it up. 1 run is in. Cruising into third is the runner Tongu. And it's a double here for Wakatsuki. And the Buffaloes are on the board here. with a 2-out double or a 1-out double. As Wakatsuki's going to pick himself up an RBI. Tongu's going to stop at third. Mune comes around with the first Buffalo run of the game. That is going to bring up the 9-hole hitter in Sho Gibbo. That ball was absolutely scorched by Wakatsuki. It short hopped the fence in left field, as Shimochi had no chance to get it other than to have to run it down. So the runner at third is Tongu. The runner at second is Wakatsuki. And here comes the first offering to Gibbo as the right-hander holds set and now delivers. It is a fastball swung on, and it's fouled off of the shortstop's shin guard that he's wearing. So no balls and one strike. Gibbo batting .417 on the season. He is 5 for 12. He bats from the left side here against the right-handed throwing Kishi. I haven't checked to see what the infield is doing here, if they're going to play it tight or if they're going to play it live. So Kishi taking his breath. They do have the infield in. So look for a play at the plate if there's a ball on the ground. Here's the pitch. It is a fastball swung on. It is lined into right field. It's going to be a base hit. Coming in and fielding it is the right fielder. They're going to stop Wakatsuki at third. It's a single for Gibbo. Cashing in is Tongu with the second run of the inning. And stopping at third, Wakatsuki, an RBI there for Gibbo. That's going to bring up the top of the order in Tokumasa Chano. So they're coming right after the right-hander Kishi here. That ball was absolutely scorched over the head of the leaping second baseman Kobakata. And they weren't going to challenge the arm of the right fielder Ogo, as the ball was not hit that deep. So runners are at the corners, and Chano now coming to bat. Buffaloes here are looking to try to run the Eagles out of the barn here in a hurry. So Chano waggling the bat as they've turned the batting order with some damage here from the bottom part. And the first pitch is a breaking ball that's taken for a called strike, and the count is 0-1. Both of these two pitchers here, as we said, they have struggled this year, Tajima and Kishi. And so, unfortunately, yesterday's game, which was a 2-0 ball game, we're already right now at that score here in the second inning. I have a feeling there's going to be a lot of runs coming up here tonight. And here's the 0-1 pitch. It's a fastball swung on, and it's lifted foul into the seats just over behind the third base dugout. The count now is 0-2 to Chano. Well, Chano is got him right where he wants him. In the first inning, he led off the ball game with an 0-2 single. And that's where he stands right now. It's no balls and 2 strikes. So Simatani gets out and he flashes the first and third defense sign. Runners at the corners. Runner at third is Wakatsuki. Runner at first is Gibbo. Keep an eye on Gibbo. He could be on the run. And here he kicks and delivers. There's a fastball that misses outside. The count now is 1 ball and 2 strikes. Chase says, I bet he's pretty happy. And Chase would be too, if I'm not mistaken. He's got money on the Buffaloes. So 1 ball and 2 strikes. That's the other thing. Kishi, when Kishi's pitching here, it is just he gets into the stretch position. This game starts to really, really slow down. I was doing it the other night when I had my watch out and just taking a look and getting some times here on how fast that he's delivering to the plate. Some of the pitchers, certainly Trevor Bauer last night, we were talking about maybe teams think they can run on Bauer. Bauer, when I was starting to get him, he was sub 1.2 seconds to the dish. So here comes Kishi. As he holds set, now he kicks and delivers. And that ball is swung on, and this ball is looped over to the shortstop. A backhanded catch there by Yamazaki. And that is going to retire Chano for the second out of the inning. So that's going to be a looping line drive to the shortstop for out number 2. That's going to leave it all up to Shuhei Fukuda. Got the clock on that one. The the time from the pitcher Kishi to the dish was 1-3-2. For those of you who often ask about this, it becomes a game of mathematics. When the pitcher lifts his foot to the time the ball hits the catcher's mitt is one time, and then the pop time from the catcher to second base is another time. You add those 2 times together. If your base runner can run faster from first to second, you run them. If it's over, you don't usually do it. So runners at the corners. Here we go. It is bunted down the first base line, and that's going to be bunted foul. Interesting that they were going to try to bunt for a base hit here. So no balls and 1 strike to Fukuda. Fukuda can bunt the ball. He does have wheels. He does run pretty good. Interesting there. It looked like that the base runner at first had thought about taking off to steal the second, and then he paused. So maybe they weren't all on the same page. No balls and 1 strike it is here. Our friend Shotgun Shell says a lot of ball left here, Chase, and that is true as well. So here comes the 0-1 as Kishi delivers. It is a fastball swung on. It is lined over the head of the pitcher into center field. That's going to get another run in. Stopping at second base is the runner Gibbo. It's an RBI single for Fukuda. That's going to increase the score to 3-0 now for the Buffaloes, as it's going to be runners at first and second, but now it's going to bring Kai Nakagawa to the plate. If they don't watch it here, this game could get away quickly and early. Buffaloes have that 3-0 lead. And, when you think about it tonight, Sugimoto's been hurt for a little bit. He's been out of the lineup. You have Tomoya Mori getting the day off here today. So a couple of the big bats are missing from the Buffalo lineup, and they're still not skipping a beat. You've added Schwindel in there. You've got Mune, Nakagawa. Gonzalez is hitting in the 8 spot. Tongu's been swinging it well this year. They just don't miss a beat. Here comes the first offering. It's a fastball that misses down and away, and the count is 1-0 to Nakagawa. So 1 ball and no strikes. Manager Ishii looking on in sort of disgust from the dugout. Here comes the 1-0 offering as it's away, and there is a breaking ball that drops in for a called strike, and the count is 1-1. Nakagawa popped out to the shortstop his first time up. One swing of the bat here could blow this thing apart early. So here comes the 1-1 from Kishi as he holds set. He checks the runner over at second. Now he kicks and delivers. There's a fastball swung on. This ball is lifted into left center field. Moving over on it, and underneath it is the center fielder Okajima. He's going to make the catch, and that is going to do it here for the Buffaloes in their half of the second inning, but there was damage and lots of it. They got 3 runs in the inning, did the Buffaloes, on the benefit of 5 hits, smacking the ball around the park. There was no errors, and there were 2 runners left aboard. Your score after 1.5 is the Buffaloes 3, the Eagles 0. Hang tight, everybody. We'll be back with the call of the bottom of the second inning when we return after this. Lots of baseball still ahead of us, but a good start here for the Buffaloes tonight. Welcome back, everybody. It is going to be the Heart of the Eagles batting order to come to bat here. That means Hideo Asamura, Takeru Okajima, and Jinjiro Samatani. So 4, 5, and 6 in the batting order. They faced the lefty Daiki Tajima, who had a pretty efficient first inning of work. In fact, he had 13 pitches in that first inning to retire the Golden Eagles. Check that, 14 pitches. We missed out on one. So 14 pitches as he's going to be facing the captain of the Eagles in Asamura. Our friend Shotgun Shell says everything a little better now that the girls have arrived. There you go. Only 100, and I think it's 102 days away until we will be on our way to Japan. Not that we're counting. There was a fastball that swung on and fouled away. It's going to reach the seats behind the first base side of home plate. The count is 0-1. Asamura hitting a .190 on the year. He's got 4 homers and 10 RBIs. As we said, it is a little bit slow in terms of production for him this year. That group in the middle part of the order really disappointing for the Eagles. They've broken it up a bit. There's a breaking ball that misses up and away, and the count is now 1-1. Shimauchi hitting in the 2 spot tonight, and then Franco batting down in the 8 spot. Here's the 1-1 on the way. There's a fastball that misses down, and the count now goes to 2-1. I almost want to say that for positional players, when they go to Tohoku, it's where positional players go to die. I don't mean that out of disrespect to the players, but when I think of some of the signings that the Golden Eagles have had over the last few years, they just haven't got the production offensively from the international players. That fastball moves down and away, and the count is 3-1. So 3 balls and 1 strike. You think about it, Yasmani Tomas was a signing last year. Chris Gittins, you kind of hope that Gittins can get it going. He was hurt last year. He had separated his shoulder on a swing. There's a fastball swung on. This ball is lined into right center field. It's going to get down for a base hit. Nakagawa fields it. He fires it back into the infield. That's a single here for Asamura, and that is going to bring up the center fielder, Takiro Okajima. For Okajima, he's batting .274 on the season. He's got a couple of homers and 8 RBIs. Another player that really has been disappointing in the Golden Eagles lineup has been Ryosuke Tatsumi. He started the year hitting in the leadoff spot. He was so, I don't know if I could use the word tragic. He was downright brutal. He got dropped down to the bottom part of the batting order and then has now found himself in a difficult place to play. It's too bad because I actually like the way that he looks, the way that he moves, the way that he does things. His batting is what's keeping him out of the lineup. There's a breaking ball delivered to Okajima, and it's taken for a call. So it can count as 0-1. But at the same time, when you start looking at Tatsumi's stats, some players, they get better as they move along. Some guys flatline and some guys decline. And he falls into the latter 2 category right now as he's starting to become more of a suspect than he is a prospect because of his age. There's a fastball that misses up to Okajima, and the count is 1-1. Okajima facing Tajima here as Tajima gets the sign from his catcher, Wakatsuki. Our friend Ruben in the house tonight. We appreciate you for dropping in, Ruben. There's a fastball that just misses outside, and the count is 2-1. Ruben popped in, of course, last night for the late night one, as we did that game between between the Bay Stars and the Giants. Yokohama Dana Bay Stars with Trevor Bauer on the mound. And here's the offering. It is a fastball that misses down and away, and the count now goes to 3-1 on Okajima. Jiro Simatani to follow, and then Yuya Ogo, check that. So 3 balls and 1 strike. As Tajima has fallen behind the second consecutive hitter in a row with a 3-1 count. And here's the pitch. It is a fastball swung on. It is popped up into shallow left field. Moving back on it is the shortstop, Gibbo, coming in on it and making the catch. Is the left fielder, Fukuda, and that is going to retire Okajima for the first out of the inning. So 1 away, and that's going to bring up the catcher, Jinjiro Simatani. He's going to be disappointed with that, is Okajima. I mean, let's as far as I could tell you, that was a 3-1 pop fly. Not a good swing with that type of pitch. Our friend Carlos is in the house tonight. He says he needs the Eagles plus 1.5. Well, our friend Shotgun Shell might jump on board with you. Our friend of the living room said, did anyone tap the keg yet? Because he'll pump it. If you have ever seen the living room, he kind of looks like Chris Farley. There's a breaking ball swung on. It's grounded over to short. Fielded by Gibbo. He throws to first. And that's going to retire Simitani on a ground out 6-3. Asamura is going to be safe at second base. And that is going to bring up the right fielder, Yuya Ogo. Well, for Ogo, he is batting 209 on the season. He's got a homer and 4 RBIs. Tajima, really, right now, he has not been I have to say, he's not been the most effective. He's thrown 25 pitches in the ball game. And he is working at 60% strike rate. So here comes the left-handed hitting Ogo. As he waits at the belt. Tajima does. He checks the runner at second, and now he kicks and delivers. There's a fastball that misses down and in, and the count is 1-0. 1 ball and no strikes to Ogo. Looks like there's a lot of school children on hand today at the afternoon affair. A lot of students in their ties and their garb, I would say, or their school uniforms. As here comes the 1-0 pitch. There's a fastball taken for a called strike, and the count goes to 1-1. Living room says, and he lives in a van down by the river. There you go. We're on to him now. Carlos says he needs a home run here in this spot. Here comes the 1-1 pitch as the lefty Tajima holds to the set. And now he kicks and delivers. There's a fastball swung on. This ball is lifted down the left field line, giving chase. And that is going to drift into the seats. It was interesting as the left fielder and the shortstop were all moving in that direction. The ball boy who was sitting on the chair down the line was running around like he didn't know what to do. It would have made for an interesting situation if there would have actually been a play there. So 1 ball and 2 strikes to Ogo. So here we go. The 1 and 2 pitches were ready to go from Tajima. He checks the runner Asamer at second. And now he kicks and delivers. There's a breaking ball swung on and missed. And Ogo goes down on strikes for out number 3. And that will do it here for the Eagles in their half of the second. No runs, a 1 hit, no errors, and 1 runner left aboard. That is 11 consecutive innings. The Buffaloes have shut out the Eagles. If you take into last night's affair, and if we'd have to go back and take a look, see if that streak has continued from the last series. We'll be back in just a couple moments. We appreciate everybody for being here with us tonight. Hang tight. Buffaloes and Eagles when we return.
Hello? Oh, hey. Yep. I'm just sitting here listening to Freddie call another game here on YouTube. Oh, yeah, going really good. He's calling a great game. Really exciting. Lots of stuff going on. You're lucky it's commercial break right now. I got a second. Oh, yeah, of course I'm having a cold one. Oh, yeah, I got plenty of videos coming up this week. You should stop in. Check them out. Leave a like, tell other people. But, Freddie's coming back. I got to go catch the game. I will check in with you later. You have a good night, buddy. Bye.
Appreciate you, Steve, and the support you give to our channel. And in turn, we support Steve Rademacher after the game. Be sure to go check him out. It is going to be the 4, 5, and 6 hitters coming to bat here for the Buffaloes. That means Frank Schwindel, Yuma Mune, and Yuma Tongu. And the first pitch that was delivered to Schwindel was a breaking ball swung on and fouled away. Schwindel popped to the catcher his first time up. He's 0 for 1 in this one. As Kishi kicks and delivers a slow breaking ball that is swung on and missed. Schwindel swung through that one. He's an interesting character watching Schwindel hit. He's got a lot of theatrics in his game, as he's got some interesting body movements. Here's the 0-2 pitch. It's a fastball swung on, and it's hit foul at the first base coach. I have another look at that one again. Is that one there? I don't know if he tried to make a play on it or if he was more self-defense. We'll get that one again. It was hit there. That's what it was. It was coming right toward the first base coach, and he lifted his leg, and he ended up getting hit on the inside of the calf. So no balls and 2 strikes to Schwindel. Here's the pitch. It's a breaking ball that misses down, and the count now goes to 1-2. 40 pitches in the first 2 innings for Kishi. Not the most economical of work. So 1 ball and 2 strikes it is here. Kishi ready to work again as he's gets his sign. He's got that bright blue glove that offsets the red uniform that he has, or the maroon uniform. There's a breaking ball that misses down, and the count now goes to 2-2. So 2 balls and 2 strikes. One thing I'm going to try to do when I'm over there, I'd like to get myself some new turfs. The problem is that when you're in Japan, their sizes are all a little bit on the small side. There's a fastball that swung on and fouled away, and the count remains at 2-2 here to Schwindel. So 2 balls and 2 strikes. Schwindel will be followed by Mune and Tongu here in the 3rd inning, as the right-hander Kishi rocks into the motion, and he kicks and delivers. There's a fastball swung on. This ball is lined into center field for a base hit. Schwindel is going to get himself a leadoff single here in the 3rd inning, and that is going to bring up the 3rd baseman, Yuma Mune. Our friendly living room says the first base coach has reflexes, maybe slow reflexes, because that ended up hitting him. If he had better reflexes, that might have actually got through him. So that was a nice swing there by Schwindel. He's aboard. And we're going to see what Yuma Mune is going to do. I wonder if they'll consider bunting Mune in this situation. I don't know if they would. 3-0 lead, and Mune can swing that a little bit. He does have a hit and a run scored tonight, as the runner is at first is Schwindel with nobody out. Here comes the first pitch. It is a breaking ball swung on and tapped foul over on the 3rd base side, and the count is quickly 0-1. I don't know if I'm saying it right. Plagonio is in the house. He says, "Where do you watch these games? I've tried everything." Well, got to keep trying. But our friend Shotgun Shell had mentioned earlier, you have to scroll up into the chat to be able to read it. There were some directions that were provided to people. We're not going to keep rehashing it. You can use the scroll up, and you can get the information that people have provided. There's a breaking ball that is taken for a called strike, and the count is 0-2. So no balls and 2 strikes. Mune, with that hit in the 2nd inning, raised his average north of 260 now, as the right-hander Kishi nods in agreement here from his catcher Simitani. Here comes the 0-2 as the right-hander delivers. It is a breaking ball that misses down, and the count goes to 1-2. I'd be really surprised if we're going to see Kishi much beyond the 5th inning, assuming he can get through the 5th inning. He's just not economical with his pitches. It doesn't have the stuff. There's nothing that he is able to do to blow the hitters away or put hitters away at this point. He's got 1 strikeout here in the 2+ innings of work. Here's the 1-2 pitch. It's a breaking ball swung on and fouled away. Count remains at 1-2. He is a little bit along in the tooth at this point in his career, which is too bad, because he has had a decent career, that is for sure. Kishi is a longtime veteran. He broke into the NPB in 2007, as he holds at the belt, and now he kicks and delivers. There's a fastball that swung on and missed. He reared back and got a little something extra on that one, and he is going to retire Mune for the first out of the inning. That is going to bring up the first baseman, Yuma Tongu. Prior to coming to the Tohoku Rakuten Golden Eagles, Kishi was with the Saitama Cebu Lions. And it is, in his career, he's a career 150 wins and 105 losses. In his course, over the course of his career at the NPB level, 8 times he has won 10 or more ball games, which is pretty impressive. As the first pitch is on the way to Tongu, it's a fastball swung on and fouled away, and the count is 0-1. Tongu also singled and scored a run in the second inning. But back to Kishi, he is, as I say, a little long in the tooth. He's going to be turning 39 after the season, and one would have to wonder how much life he's got left in that arm, as the veteran is getting definitely on in his age. There's a fastball that's taken for a called strike, and the count now goes to 0-2 on Tongu. So no balls and 2 strikes. Marlin says, are you expecting the Buffaloes to blow this game open in the later innings? Well, Marlin, they almost did it in the early innings, to be honest with you. I don't know if I like the way that the Eagles have been playing ball this year. There's a fastball swung on and fouled away, and the count remains at 0-2. So no balls and 2 strike. And just backing up to Marlin's question is, the Buffaloes have played really good baseball lately. Their bullpen has been good. The only wild card to this is actually their starter, Tajima, who's not pitched well this year. So I would think that as far as the bats, as far as the defense, everything is pointing towards the Buffaloes. They just have to get Tajima to get to that point where they can pass it over to the bullpen. There's a breaking ball swung on it. It's grounded through the 4-hole into right field. Stopping at second is Schwindel. Tongu's going to get himself a 1-out single. That's his second hit of the night. And just as we're saying that, the bats are continuing to boom. By my count, that's the 8th hit of the ball game now for the Buffaloes. And we're here in the 3rd inning. They're just knocking Kishi around the park. Well, that's going to bring up Marwin Gonzalez. Gonzalez 0 for 1 tonight. He struck out his first time up. Our friend Marlin says he is a gambler and have them right now to win by 2 or more runs. And to be honest with you, Marlin, I think that that may be the end of the night for Kishi. He's going off the mound with the trainer and the pitching coach. He did not look right here, and that is going to be the end of the night, it looks like, unless they're going to go examine something. But I think he is finished. We may have ourselves a pitching change here. We're going to take a look. They're going to go, first of all, they're going to go and take a look at him. I don't know what the deal is. So they haven't officially made the move yet. And in Japanese baseball, when a player sometimes gets hurt, they take him down the tunnel into the trainer's room to have a look. So we'll see exactly what the deal is with him. But back to our friend Marlin, who asked the question. And, as I said tonight, the Buffaloes are playing some pretty good baseball. They're swinging the bats well. The Golden Eagles are really, really, really struggling. We're going to get a look at the highlight here. We're going to see if we could see where Kishi may have hurt himself. I wonder if it has to do something with his leg. He may have called for the trainer. It looked like when he landed with his plant foot that he kind of slid a little bit. And when he slid, sometimes that's where you can pop a hamstring or tweak something. So maybe his night might be over. They're going to go and have a look at him, see how they feel, and then they're going to make a decision here in a second. Looks like the manager, Ishii, is going down the tunnel. Looks like it's a bit of a late arriving crowd in Tohoku. We said when the game first started, there were a lot of empty seats. But we also noted that there's a lot of school children that are out at the game, as they are in their school uniforms in the stands. Beautiful day for baseball. You couldn't ask for better in Tohoku. As the manager, Ishii, has come out of the dugout, he's talking to the home plate umpire. We're going to see here if they're going to make a change. And we're still waiting here on the decision. It looks like that the home plate umpire is making a signal up to the press box, but haven't got anything here yet as the are still on the mound. Well, we're going to take a half a moment here for a timeout until we can get this back in the spot. We'll give you a musical break. We'll be back here in 30 seconds after this. We're still waiting here as we have a pause in the action as the pitcher Kishi is getting looked at. We'll be back in 30 more as we have to wait to resume the action here. Hang tight, everybody. We'll be right back. Welcome back, everybody. It looks like a pitching change is about to come up here. We get the replay as Kishi had signaled for the trainer. The umpire had gone to the microphone to make the announcement over the loudspeaker, and I think we are going to get ourselves a new pitching change. And so when that happens, because it's an injury, usually they give an opportunity for the pitcher to take as long as he needs to get himself warmed up. So that looks like what Ishii is doing is the manager is trying to get that to happen. Is it looks like we are going to have the pitching change, the new pitchers coming in. We'll get you all the specs when we return in just a moment, everybody. It is a pitching change for the Golden Eagles, and we'll be right back in just a few. Appreciate you guys here. It looks like it's going to be Nishiguchi taking over on the mound, but we'll be back in 30 with all the information in just a moment. Welcome back, everybody. It is going to be a pitching change as they are going to the bullpen, and it is going to be the right-hander Naoto Nishiguchi coming in. And if you're picking the Buffaloes tonight, you are probably celebrating this move. Nishiguchi is appearing in his 15th ball game of the year. He has been in a host of trouble this season. He's got no wins and 4 losses. He's worked 12 and 2/3 innings. He's allowed 15 hits, 3 walks. He's struck out 9. He's got an earned run average of 568. So if you're looking at the needle being pointed in a direction, it is going to be in the direction of the Buffaloes right now. They've got runners at first and second here with 1 gone. It's going to be Marwin Gonzalez, the switch hitter, coming to the plate, who will be facing Nishiguchi for the first time tonight. As the pitcher Kishi's night is over, as we said, it looked like that he on that last pitch had slipped. I would say slipped, but it looked like he had slid awkwardly or with the plant foot. And as we say, sometimes that's a hamstring or something along those lines in the lower half, which can cause some difficulty for the pitcher. So as Nishiguchi has completed his warm-up tosses, it looks like we're ready to resume the action here. So we are getting back at it. So Nishiguchi ready to face Gonzalez. Be also interested to see how far they're going to ride Nishiguchi, as they may be trying to get some innings out of him. Although they have a relatively fresh pen from last night, neither team had to go deep into their bullpen last night in that 2-0 ball game. As we are ready to resume the action, the right-hander holds set. Schwindel bouncing around at second base, and it's a breaking ball taken for a called strike, and the count is quickly 0-1 to Gonzalez. Gonzalez, as we said, struck out his first time up. His average has slipped below 230 on the year with 5 homers and 11 RBIs. Our friend CB Baseball card collector is in the house. We welcome you as well. A pleasure to have you in the early night tonight. As the 0-1 pitch is ready to come to Gonzalez. It's a fastball that catches the outside corner. And the count now is 0-2. So no balls and 2 strikes. Wakatsuki waits his turn on deck if Gonzalez should get on. And our friend Alexander Lett has made the appearance. So there you go. If you want to know anything about anything, NPB, Alexander is your guy. So no balls and 2 strikes as the righty checks the runner Schwindel at second, and he delivers. It's a fastball that misses down, and the countdown goes to 1-2. So 1 ball and 2 strikes. As we said, tomorrow night we will have the same 2 teams for the finale of this series. Have to tell you, the Friday Japan game will be a game time decision. Haven't made a decision if I'm going to call anything late night. If I did, I'd do it at 2 a.m. And the other piece is if we do the game tomorrow night, we may consider actually doing another game after it. I won't do one tonight. I've got something else going on, but I may consider it the next day. There's a fastball swung on. This ball is lifted into right field, and this ball is going to get down for a base hit. Nice piece of decoying by the right fielder. It looked like that he was feigning like he was going to catch the ball. Nice job there by Ogo. It's going to stop Schwindel over at third. Tongu is going to advance to second. Gonzalez has got himself a base hit, and that's going to bring up the catcher, Kenya Wakatsuki. This game here, as we said before, the Buffaloes in a position here to blow this apart. Our friend Marlon, who's in here, who's wanting the Buffaloes. Well, this is the situation we have right now. We've got the runner Schwindel at third, Tongu at second, Gonzalez at first, 1 gone. And Wakatsuki, who doubled home a run his first time up, is at the plate. With that double, he's raised his average to 306. He's got no homers and 3 RBIs on the year. And here comes the first offering from Nishiguchi. It's a fastball swung on and lifted foul behind the seats and behind home plate. That's going to run the count to 0-1. It's been the bottom part of the batting order that has done damage here for the Buffaloes here tonight. The bottom 4 hitters in the order, Tongu, Gonzalez, Wakatsuki, and Gibbo. In this one already are 5 for 6 at the plate. Well, if you're letting the bottom part of the order rough you up, it's only a matter of time till the top part gets you too. Here's the pitch from Nishiguchi. As we just have ourselves another slight little pause again. This has been a bit of a hassle here for us, and that's a breaking ball that swung on and fouled away, and the count is 0-2. So no balls and 2 strikes. Back to the action again here as Nishiguchi delivers a fastball that's missed up and away, and the count now goes to 1-2. So 1 ball and 2 strikes it is to Kenya Wakatsuki. A right-hander Nishiguchi ready to go back to work as he checks his side from his catcher Sumitani. And now he's ready to deliver as he holds set. And he kicks and he fires. It's a fastball swung on and missed. And that is going to retire Wakatsuki for the second out of the inning. And that's going to leave it all up to the shortstop, Sho Gibbo. Well, for Gibbo tonight, he is 1 for 1. He drove in the second run of the ball game with a single back in the second inning. As he comes to bat here to face the right-hander Nishiguchi. So nice pitch there by Nishiguchi to finish off Wakatsuki. So bases are loaded, 2 on, as he's trying to get himself out of a jam here. And here comes the offering from the right-hander who kicks and delivers. We've got ourselves all kinds of issues here, and that pitch is a fastball that swung on. It's fouled straight back off the Mascus Simitani. That's going to run the count to 0-1. That ball there, oh boy. So no balls and 1 strike it is to Gibbo. Our friend Alexander Leggett says he's waiting for the bullpen to lose it. Well, this is the problem here. Here comes the pitch as the right-hander kicks and delivers. There's a fastball swung on and fouled away. And the count is now 0-2 to Gibbo. Our friend Jaden in the house here tonight as well. Appreciate you for bouncing in here. Yeah, the thing is tonight is I have to agree. The Buffaloes have the better lineup. They have the better pitcher. And they have the better bullpen. And I think they've got the better defense. So here comes the 0-2 offering as it is a fastball that misses down. A nice stop there by Simitani. That's going to run the count to 1-2 on Gibbo. So again, the bases are full. There's 2 gone here in the 3rd inning. And the Golden Eagles are already into their bullpen, which has been dicey at the best of times this year. But Tajima is the one factor. I would think that Tajima is probably going to be a 5 kind of inning guy here. So the bases are full. 1 ball and 2 strikes it is to Gibbo as the right-hander holds to the set position. And now he kicks and delivers. It's a fastball that misses down, and the count now goes to 2-2. So 2 balls and 2 strikes. Our friend Marlon says the Eagles losing their pitcher is going to hurt them more. Well, I don't know if it's going to hurt them more or hurt them less. He had given up 8 hits in the first 2+ innings or 2 1/3 innings of work. So the Buffaloes are well on pace here to potentially crack out 20 hits tonight in this game. Here's the pitch. It's a fastball swung on. It is grounded up the middle, and it gets by the shortstop, Yamazaki, into center field. 1 run is in. Here comes the throw to the plate, and it is not in time, and that's going to score Tongu all the way from second, and it's going to increase the lead to 5-0. And that's what we were talking about, the defensive play of the Eagles. Yamazaki, that ground ball up the middle, it looked like it handcuffed him. I'm going to see the replay again on this, but I think that was a play that he, at the bare minimum, could have made and knocked it down. We're looking at it here, and that's exactly what it was. There was too much daylight between the ball and the glove. He never got his glove all the way to the ground, and the ball had eyes. It got through, and that is going to be a single and 2 RBIs for Gibbo, and that is going to increase the lead to 5-0 here for the Buffaloes. And now let's turn the batting order over to the top of the order. It's going to be Tohoku Chano coming to bat, as there are runners at first and second here with 2 gone. So Chano here tonight, he is 1 for 2. As he's getting ready here to face the offering from the right-hander Nishiguchi. Those runs were charged to Kishi, and there's a first pitch fastball swung on, and it is lifted into the seats down the third base line. The count is 0-1 to Chano. Chano singled in the first inning. He lined out softly to the shortstop in the second. He's also got a stolen base to his name here tonight. Our friend Jaden says he just got himself a subscriber. We appreciate you, Jaden, for listening in. We got a pretty good community in here. There's a lot of regulars. There's a breaking ball swung on and lifted foul down the third base line. The count is now 0 balls and 2 strikes to Chano. Chano will be followed by Fukuda should he find a way on safely here. So 0 balls and 2 strikes. And as we mentioned, we'll be back on that airwave again tomorrow. So if you guys are around, come on back and join us again for another tour, as it is going to be the same 2 teams all over again, 10 Pacific, 1 a.m. Eastern. So here comes the 0-2 offering as the right-hander holds set and now delivers. It's a fastball swung on, and it's lifted foul over on the third base side, and the count remains at 0-2. This is a familiar spot for Chano. He was 0-2 in the first inning, and he found himself with a base. He was worked the count to 1-2 in the second inning before he softly lined out to short, and now he's back in the hole at 0-2 again. Some players can hit well behind in the count, and Chano in the top of the order has shown that he can do it. So here's the 0-2 pitch as the right-hander Nishiguchi works to the set. And now he kicks and delivers. It's a fastball that misses down in the dirt. The count now goes to 1-2. So 1 ball and 2 strikes. Our friend CV says lots of regulars, as is the living room. William Franco in the house here tonight as well. We appreciate you for popping in. And everybody else that has listened in here tonight. 1 ball and 2 strikes it is to Chano. There's 2 gone here in the top of the third. The Buffaloes are trying to run roughshod over the Eagles early and often in this one. And here's the 1-2 on the way. It is a breaking ball swung on. It is tapped slowly down the first base line, but it's just going to roll foul. That's going to keep the count at 1-2. This is actually one of the ballparks I would like to go and see, and I'm not going to get up to the Sapporo region. Maybe in 2024. Maybe, but certainly not going to be this year. It's a fascinating looking park. It's got a Ferris wheel in left field. And as I had mentioned at the top of the stream, it looks like it was a ballpark that was built and then it has additional add-ons in certain spots where they've maybe added a extra height of dimensions. But it's kind of a cool looking park. I wonder what it would be like in person. Here comes the 1-2. As there's a fastball that misses down and away, and the count now goes to 2-2. So 2 balls and 2 strikes. As our friend the living room says, we got a party on a Wednesday morning or a late Tuesday night if you are on the West Coast. Our friend CV Baseball Card Collector asked how Bauer did last night. He absolutely got torched. There's a fastball swung on and fouled away, and the count remains at 2-2. Just to put it in perspective for you, he gave up 7 runs in 6 innings. 6 of them were earned, but he had also served up a couple of gopher balls in that one. In fact, there was 3 home runs he allowed. As we were on the call for that one last night, certainly not a Bauer-esque outing that he was going to be putting on his family Christmas videos. So 2 balls and 2 strikes as Nishiguchi holds to the set. He checks the runner over at second, and now he kicks and delivers. There's a fastball swung on and lifted foul. It's going to reach the seats over on the third base side, and the count remains at 2-2. Our friend CV says he caught some of that game last night. Yeah, it was unfortunate. I mean, if you're a fan of Bauer, if you're not a fan of Bauer, then of course you're hoping for a Bauer outage, so to speak. But I find it fascinating. You know, certainly the Japanese, you tip your hat to them. They really have good 2-strike approaches as a collective group. There's a fastball that misses down, and the count now goes to 3-2 on Chano. And I say that because they just flick the wrist, they continue to battle, they put the ball in play, and they wait until they get something good to hit, and then they put good swings on good pitches. They really can battle and work the counts. I don't see that enough in Major League Baseball. Raphael says, let's go Buffaloes. So 3 balls and 2 strikes. As the right-hander works to the set position, he checks the runner at second base. That's Marwin Gonzalez. And now here's the pitch. It's a fastball swung on. This ball is grounded through the 4-hole into right field. Fielding it is the right fielder Ogo. Here comes the throw to the plate. It's cut off. And Marwin Gonzalez is going to score. That's going to increase the score line to 6-0. And the hit parade continues. As Chano gets his second hit of the night, he also grabs himself an RBI. As Gonzalez is going to score the 6th run of the ball game. And there you go. We got another one on the board. 6 bagel here. 3 in the second, 3 in the third. And there's no sign of this stopping anywhere yet. The bleeding is continuing. It's going to bring Shuhei Fukuda to the plate as there's runners on the corners as Gibbo went first to third on that knock. So Fukuda comes to the plate. He is 1 for 2 in this one. He's got a single and an RBI. And the pitch is on the way. It's a fastball. Take it for a called strike, and the count is 0-1. Buffaloes in this one tonight are already up to 11 hits. Unbelievable. They are swinging the bats for sure. So the right-hander Nishiguchi holds set. And the pitch is a fastball that just misses upstairs, and the count is 1-1. Alexander gives Marlon some advice there, probably sound advice, because some people sync it to the stream that we're doing here. So if you jump the gun a little bit, you're going to have some angry patrons. You might have to buy a few rounds of beer with that money you're going to be winning. There's a split finger pitch that misses down, and the count is now 2-1 to Fukuda. And believe me, there's some people that like to gamble here, but at the same time, there's also people that like to have a few beers too, so you might be paying for a lot of rounds. So here comes the 2-1 pitch. And it's a fastball that swung on and lifted foul down the third baseline, and the count is 2-2. So 2 balls and 2 strikes. Mark Lauren is in the house here asking questions. So old school radio stream, Mark, if you want to watch the game, there's been some information in the chat. You're going to have to scroll up and to take a look. That information's been provided already, so you'll have to scroll up and do your digging. 2 balls and 2 strikes here to Fukuda as the right-hander Nishiguchi ready to go again. He holds to the set. And now he kicks and delivers. It's a fastball swung on. It is hit off the glove of the pitcher. It goes over to the second baseman who fields it, and that is going to be Kobakata, who throws to first, and that is going to do it. Oh, boy, that almost got through the middle. That's going to go as a ground out, 1-4-3 for the third out of the inning. But more damage done here for the Buffalo in their half of the third inning. They scored 3 more runs in the inning on the benefit of 5 hits. There was no errors and 2 runners left aboard. Your score after 2.5, it is the Buffaloes 6, the Eagles no score. Stick around, everybody. We'll be back in just a couple moments. We appreciate you guys for being here. Hang tight, everybody. We'll be right back after this. Welcome back, everybody. It is going to be the bottom of the third inning. It'll be the 8, 9, and 1 hitters to come to bat in the batting order for the Eagles. That means Mikael Franco, Tsuyoshi Yamazaki, and the top of the order, Hirota Kobakata. So just to put a picture here for you, I'm looking at the box score. Already in this ball game, the Orix Buffaloes have sent 20 batters to the plate in their first 3 innings. The Eagles have only sent 7 to the plate in their first 2. So that is the difference in this one. They've already already into the third time through the order. Golden Eagles haven't got anything going yet, and Tajima has got himself a healthy 6-0 lead to begin with. The first pitch is a breaking ball taken for a called strike. The count is 0-1 to Franco. Franco batting 183 on the season with 3 homers and 10 RBIs. Our friend BVP in the house tonight. We welcome you back to the stream as always. There's a breaking ball swung on and it is lifted foul behind home plate. And the count goes to 0-2 on Franco. So no balls and 2 strikes. BVP said he was sad he missed our Bay Stars cast even though Bauer got lit. Well, he got lit all right. 3 bombs in that ball game. It was like they knew the pitches were coming at some points. There's a breaking ball that misses down, and the count is 1-2. Maybe he was calling him out like he was doing in that spring training, letting the guys know what was coming. Like it was backfiring on him last night. So 1 ball and 2 strikes to Franco as he bats here against Tajima. And the pitch is on the way. It's a fastball swung on. It is chopped over the head of the pitcher. Fielded by Gibbo. What a play by Gibbo. Behind the bag at second base. He did a 360-degree turn and fires to get Franco. Franco's got to be talking to himself because he's been struggling lately. But that there unbelievable play by the shortstop. Fantastic. That's a highlight reel. That'll get onto the Instagram pages for the Pacific League for sure. That is going to retire Franco for the first out of the inning, and that's going to bring up Tsuyoshi Yamazaki. So that's some quality baseball right there. Not only are they hitting the ball, but they're also doing their share of defensive play. So Yamazaki stepping to the plate. He is batting on the season .255. He's got a homer and 7 RBIs. He took that first pitch outside for a ball, and the count is 1-0. Tajima delivers again a fastball that catches the inside corner, and the count now goes to 1-1. Well, it looks like they have decided that Yamazaki is going to be the shortstop for the Eagles. As the pitch is on the way, it is a fastball that misses inside, and the count now goes to 2-1. Hirota Kobakata was holding down that position quite a bit over the last couple of years. They've got him at second base tonight, but they've moved him into third and left field. He's kind of been a bit of a utility guy for them. But I don't know what they see in Yamazaki. There's a breaking ball that drops in for a called strike. The count is 2-2. Maybe a little bit better arm strength. I don't know if how much better he is defensively than Kobakata. That seems to be what manager Ishii is going with. There's a fastball swung on. This ball is lifted into deep left field. Moving back underneath it and making the grab is Fukuda. And with 2 up, there is 2 away here in the third inning, and that is going to leave it all up to the top of the order in Hirota Kobakata. Alexander Leggett says he's got a feeling like this is going to be the 17-7 game we saw from the Bay Stars. And you might be right on that one. Yeah, BVP said it there where sometimes you're going to have to change your style of pitching a little bit as the first pitch is a fastball that misses outside. One of the things I said in the stream last night is that what I noted about Bauer was he didn't really attack the zone early on with his fastballs. I thought he fell in love with his off speed too much. As there's a fastball that misses down and the count is 1-1. I'd like to ask him that question of what his attack mind is. Your bread and butter pitch is your fastball, and establishing both sides of the plate, one would have to think is what you want to do early on. And there's a fastball that swung on and fouled away by Kobakata, and the count goes to 1-2. He did not establish the fastball early. He did not work both sides of the plate. And then on top of it, he also struggled with his command. And then he had to start throwing the breaking balls, and he wasn't being able to throw those for strikes. And then they started pounding his fastballs around. So there's a breaking ball swung on and missed. Kobakata is retired on strikes for the third out of the inning as the Eagles go quietly again. No runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left the board. We're now through 3 complete. It is a 6-0 ball game. Hang tight, everybody. We'll be right back in just a couple of moments. We appreciate you guys for listening in. Buffaloes are pounded around 6-0 here as they have the lead over the Golden Eagles as we go to the 4th. We'll be right back after this. Welcome back, everybody. We will be back on the call here in just a moment. It'll be Nakagawa, Schwindel, and Mune to come to bat here in the fourth. Appreciate you guys for being here. And our AVP says that the Hawks are going to get Connor Bedard. They won the sweepstakes. Bedard lives in my neighborhood, as he would, or at least his parents do. That is going to be where he is from my area here, North Vancouver, British Columbia. We'll be right back in just a couple. Welcome back, everybody. The pitching parade for the Eagles is about to begin or continue, I should say, as Koichi Takada is now coming into the ball game as he is going to be replacing Nishiguchi. It's going to be his third appearance of the season. The second overall pick in the 2020 draft. Has worked 6 1/3 innings. He's allowed 8 hits. He's walked 4 and struck out 9, and he's got an ERA of 7.11. So the gaudy ERAs continue to come out of the bullpen here tonight as Takada is going to be taking over. He is going to be facing, as we said, the 3, 4, and 5 hitters in the batting order, but I would have to think that they're going to have to find a way to steady the ship here. 6-10-0 for the Buffaloes. 0-1-1 is the line score right now for the Golden Eagles. Our friend Mark has asked the question yet again, and Alexander Leggett has delivered that there. You're going to have to use some ingenuity once you get to the site, but they do have Google Translate that can help you through some of that stuff. There's a breaking ball that misses down to Nakagawa, and the count is 1-0. So 1 ball and no strikes. Nakagawa tonight 0 for 2. He has popped to short and flown out to center, as there's a breaking ball that drops in for a called strike, and the count now is 1 ball and 1 strike. BVP says most scouts have him on McDavid Crosby level. There's a breaking ball that swung on and lifted foul down the right field line, and the count goes to 1-2. I have to say, I really don't know enough about his abilities. I've seen him a little bit in the World Juniors. I don't know if he fits McDavid's style. Maybe I'm leaning toward Crosby. As there's a breaking ball swung on it, grounded over to second. Kobakata fields it. He throws to first. And that is going to retire Nakagawa on a ground out 4-3 for the first out of the inning. And that is going to bring up the designated hitter, Frank Schwindel. Friend BVP says, just look for a baseball field and it should have Orix in the title. It's also true, too. That's why you're looking through that there, Mark. And hopefully you can find it. So Schwindel steps to the plate. He's 1 for 2 tonight. He takes a breaking ball in for a called strike, and the count is quickly 0-1. With that knock, he's raised his average to 217 on the year. Schwindel has had some good moments for the Buffaloes. He's got a homer and 10 RBIs. There's a fastball that just misses down, and the count now goes to 1-1. As we said, he's got a lot of interesting movements, does Schwindel. He bounces around quite a bit at the plate. So 1 ball and 1 strike it is as the right-hander holds set. And now he delivers a slow breaking ball that drops in for a called strike, and the count now goes to 1-2. So 1 ball and 2 strikes it is. As the right-hander now comes to the set position. And he kicks and he delivers. It is a breaking ball that is a check swing fouled away by Schwindel. He checked his swing and he lined it over to the first base dugout. So 1 ball and 2 strikes. As the right-hander ready to go again, he kicks and he delivers. There's a breaking ball swung on it. Is lifted down the right field line. This ball is drifting. It's going to reach into the seats, and that's going to keep the count at 1-2. For those of you who are interested, be sure to check out Living Room Sports as he's been making his daily predictions. We did our daily predictions through the month of April into early May, and the reality of it is just we're starting to get crunched on time. Can't do the stuff on the daily like I would like to, unless we could free up more time in the day. Here comes the 1-2 pitch. There's a fastball that swung on and missed, and Schwindel is down on strikes. He is gone for out number 2. So 2 up and 2 away, and Yuma Mune is now going to be the hitter. Well, for Mune, he is 1 for 2 in this one. He's got a single and 2 trips. He's also scored a run. He bats here from the left side. This is the first time that the Eagles have a chance to retire the Buffaloes 1-2-3. Our friend the Living Room, and with no shame, says subscribe to him. Yeah, absolutely. Check him out. There's a fastball swung on and fouled away, and the count is 0-1 to Mune. Mune has raised his average to 260 on the evening with that homer and 7 RBIs. Alexander says that Schwindel looked great at bat. Missed that last one. He had that. The second at bat was the base hit single that he had. There's a fastball swung on it. It's grounded up the middle, fielded by Yamazaki. He throws to first, and that's going to retire Mune. It's going to go down as a ground out 6-3 for the third out of the inning. And that is going to do it here. No runs in the inning, no hits, no errors, and nobody left the board. We are now through 3.5. As we go to the bottom of the fourth, your score is the Buffaloes 6, the Eagles no score. Stick around, everybody. We'll be right back with the call in just a couple moments. Appreciate you guys for bouncing in here with us tonight. Welcome back, everybody. We are moving now here to the bottom half of the fourth inning. It's going to be the 2, 3, and 4 hitters in the batting order to come to bat for the Eagles. That means Shimauchi, Ito, and Asamura, as it is going to be the 2, 3, and 4. Shimauchi 0 for 1 tonight, as he has really struggled at the plate this year. We were talking about some of the players. Also, on top of this, I understand that Shimauchi's in the final year of his contract, and it was said in the preseason that the Eagles are going to let him walk away at the end of the year. I mean, I saw him play over the last couple of years, and I'm really impressed, generally speaking, with the way that he swings the bat. But he has been a career Eagle, and they're just willing to wipe their hands and walk away from him. I'm sure there'll be other suitors across the NPB for his experience. There's a breaking ball that drops in for a called strike, and the count is 0-1. A little surprised that they wouldn't try to bang something out with this veteran player, and by all accounts, pretty decent leader in the clubhouse. There's a 0-1 pitch. It's a fastball that misses down and away. The count is 1-1. BVP says, I remember when they had live NPB games on YouTube. Yeah, they even ran some last year a little from the Pacific League, not regular. There was a fastball swung on, and it is pop foul over on the third base side, and that's going to just drift into the seats, and the count now goes to 1-2. 11 years with the Eagles. Yeah, there was even stuff even last year from time to time. I think it was last year or 2 years ago that they would run some things on the Pacific League channel, but irregular, very hard time to even be able to see when it would be on or when it would not be on. no regularity. I'm not sure what the rationale to that was, to build their fan base or lack of fan base. There's a fastball swung on. This ball is lifted into center field. It's going to get down for a base hit. Shimauchi is aboard with a leadoff single here in the fourth. That's going to bring up the first baseman, Yukiya Ito. PvP says, yeah, they were hard to find. That is true. I haven't even taken a look this year, to be honest with you, to find out what they're actually doing. Every once in a while, they'll flip it in, and then they've got some English commentators, so to speak, I guess. So Ito is the batter. He's 0 for 1 tonight. He's flown to left field. His first trip up, and he takes a fastball down for a ball, and the count is 1-0. Ito batting here with the runner Shimauchi at first. Probably not the threat that he was to steal like he used to, especially with the left-hander on the mound here. Tajima's a decent move. And the pitch is a fastball that just misses inside, and the count now goes to 2-0. So 2 balls and no strikes. One of the hardest parts that when I watch some of the games, and I watch some of the Major League Baseball games, and they put the focus sometimes too much on the commentators. They cast away from the game. Here's the 2-0 pitch. It's a fastball taken for a called strike. Count is 2-1. And I'll give you an example of that. Sometimes when Eduardo Perez and John Sciambi were doing games, the game would be going on, and they'd be just having the zoom into the press box where they were calling the games. I don't mind you calling the games and listening to those guys, but the problem is show the game while it's going on. Here's the offering. It is a fastball that misses inside, and the count now goes to 3-1. So 3 balls and 1 strike. Sometimes I think the folks that are involved in the television production are too creative or try to get too cute, rather than staying with the meat and potatoes of the broadcast. So here comes the 3-1 offering as the lefty Tajima delivers. It's a fastball swung on. It is lifted foul over on the first base side, and that's going to reach the seats. That's going to run the count to 3-2 on Ito. Really don't have any beefs with the commentators. It's just the production staff that is there. And apparently they say sometimes some of the production staff is quite difficult to deal with. I'll get to that in a second. Here comes the 3-2 pitch. As the pitch is on the way, there's a fastball swung on. This ball is lifted into right center field. Racing in is Nakagawa. He makes the catch, and that is going to retire Ito. Nice catch there by Nakagawa, as that will retire Ito for the first out of the inning, and that is going to bring up the designated hitter, Hideo Asamura. If I told you this as well, the other thing I was reading, there was a message sent to me of Frank Gifford, the former broadcaster, and he had wrote in his book, he talked about how he was doing the Monday Night Football, and I think it was with Howard Cosell and others. And they said, if you think that the broadcasters have egos, the people in the production room have egos, players have egos, everybody's got an ego. There's a fastball swung on, and this ball is lifted into left center field. Moving over underneath it is the center fielder Nakagawa, and he makes the catch, and that is going to retire Asamura for the second out of the inning. So 2 away here, and that's going to leave it all up to Takiro Okajima. And in some ways here, we kind of like it because we can do our stuff sort of professionally, but at the same point in time, we throw you a little Steve Rademacher on the in-between and some of the other hokiness that we have here, and that's what makes it all the more entertaining. As we have some other folks that are here. If you were doing it full-on professionally, where would the living room be? Probably next to the bathroom or the kitchen. Here comes the pitch. It is a breaking ball swung on. It is grounded through the 4-hole. No, what a stop by the second baseman, Gonzalez. But he's not going to be able to retire the runner in time. Fantastic play by Gonzalez, diving to his left in the 4-hole. He was able to get to his feet and throw to first, but it's just not in time. It's going to be an infield hit here for Okajima. It's going to advance Shimauchi over to second. The Eagles have got something going here with 2 out, and that's going to bring up the catcher, Jinjiro Sumitani. Fred BVP says Boog does that for the Cubs and it drives me crazy. Yeah, I think you're absolutely right on that one. So the runner at second is Shimouchi. The runner at first is Okajima. Simatani comes to bat here. He's 0 for 1 tonight. He's hitting 257 on the year. He's got a homer and 4 RBIs. And the pitch is on the way. It is a breaking ball that misses down for ball 1. And the count is 1-0. So 1 ball and no strikes. The left-hander Tajima ready to go again as the right-handed hitting Simatani digs in. As he checks the runner Shimochi at second base, Tajima holds at the belt and now delivers. It's a breaking ball that misses outside, and the count is now 2-0. Even though Tajima has delivered 56 pitches, and he has been what I would say, well, he's been decent so far in this one. I don't know if we're going to see him much past the 5th inning. This little hiccup right here with runners at first and second and 2 gone might be an early indicator that he might not be around after the 5th. There's a breaking ball swung on it, is popped up on the infield. Over on the left side, underneath it is Gibbo. He makes the catch, and he's got himself out of a jam, as that is going to do it here for the Eagles in their half of the inning. No runs in the inning. There were a couple of hits. There was no errors and 2 runners left aboard. We are now moving to the top of the 5th inning. Your score is the Buffaloes 6, the Eagles no score. Stick around, everybody. We'll be right back in just a couple of moments. We appreciate you guys for being here. Our friend Alexander Leggett says we got plenty of Egos here. And so, yeah, that play was pretty sick as well. We'll be right back after this. Hang tight, everybody. Appreciate you with us. Speaking of hokiness, here is our friend Steve Rademacher. Be sure to check him out after the game. It's all about Steve.
This is Steve Rademacher, and I'd like to introduce you to my channel if you haven't seen it before. These are all the things I enjoy: sports, autographs, relics, non-sports Hall of Famers, pseudo-sports, Star Wars. That's my channel name and my name. And I would really appreciate it if you would come check me out and maybe even subscribe if you like it. Thank you for that for now, and back to your ball game.
Welcome back, everybody. Takada is coming in for his second inning of work tonight. It is going to be Tangu, Gonzalez, and Wakatsuki to face the young right-hander here, as he will begin his second inning of work. It is a tough night at the office so far for the Golden Eagles. They are finding themselves down 6 bagel as we move to the top of the 5th inning. Tangu, 2 for 2 so far tonight. He's singled both his trips to the plate, and he has scored both times. I'd said in the last half inning, I said the bottom 4 hitters in the batting order, now that we've gone through them twice, are currently 6 for 8. That is incredible. They've scored 4 of the 6 runs. Gonzalez and Wakatsuki have struck out in that batch. And there's a first pitch breaking ball swung on and missed. The count is 0-1 to Tangu. Our friend Titus is in the house. We welcome you, Titus. Appreciate you for stopping in. There's a fastball that's taken for a called strike. The count now goes to 0-2. So no balls and 2 strikes. The one thing I would really like to see is if the Central League could even ever figure it out as an organization and get everybody on the same page. There's a fastball that misses down, and the count is 1-2. But then at the same point in time, you look at this and you say, it's nice to see an afternoon game in Tohoku, but why on the weekends are the majority of the games all starting at the same time? Or why are we all playing at the same spot? They could probably do a little bit better if they spaced out their games. There's a fastball that misses down, and the count is 2-2. As an example, if they played games at, say, for example, 1 o'clock, 4 o'clock, and 7 o'clock on Saturday, Japan time, one would think that people are going to be watching. If you're a fan of the Golden Eagles, you're probably still going to watch the Murray Giants play. They weren't playing at the same time. There's a fastball swung on. This ball is lined into right field. It's going to get down for a base hit. Yet another hit here for the Buffaloes. That's number 11 in the ball game. A leadoff single here by Tongu. That's his third hit of the game. That is going to bring up Marwin Gonzalez. And again, I don't have an answer for you on that, or why they choose to do that, being the Central League, or for that matter, the Pacific League. But I think just for the overall benefit, it would just have greater fan interest. I think one of the best things that the soccer league in England did a number of years ago was stagger the start times. There was a breaking ball that catches the inside corner and the count is 0-1. The English Premier League decided to go with some Monday night football games. It used to always be soccer Saturday. Then they spaced a couple of games out to Sunday, and then they ran them on 2 different times on Sunday. So if you have a 20-team league and there's 10 different matches, why play them all at 3 o'clock on Saturday afternoon? Here comes the pitch. There's an 0-1 offering, and it is a breaking ball swung on and fouled away. And the count is 0-2 to Gonzalez. Alexander Leggett asked the question about living room, about what else does he put his nickels on. I also understand he does a regular tour of the Greyhound tracks down in Florida when he's also not promoting the midget wrestling. No balls and 2 strikes. Here's the pitch. It's a fastball that misses inside. The count goes to 1-2. Our friend Andy says he's surprised to see this game on right now. No idea there was a day game. Well, we got another one for you tomorrow, Andy. Same time and same place. Same 2 teams. As the Buffaloes are out to a 6-0 lead here on the Golden Eagles in the top of the 5th inning. As the right-hander Takada works to the set position. He checks the runner at first. Here comes the 1-2 to Gonzalez. It's a breaking ball that is swung on and missed. And Gonzalez looked sick on that one. It's interesting how hot and cold he is. That's the second time tonight he has struck out. He's gone for the first out of the inning, and that's going to bring up the catcher Kenya Wakatsuki. Beautiful day in Tohoku for this one. As we said, a lot of school children in attendance. Beautiful day for baseball in the northeast of Japan. So here comes the first offering to Wakatsuki. It's a fastball that misses down, and the count is 1-0. So 1 ball and no strike. Our friend BVP agreed. Loved how the EPL made it more accessible to watch more games. Absolutely. When you had a 10-team league and you're playing all the games at 3 o'clock on Saturday afternoon, that didn't seem very well thought out. There's a fastball that's swung on and fouled away. But as I said, now you get usually a couple of games on the Sunday. They don't start at the same time. You get a game on Monday night, that's 3. And then on Saturday, they have an early match and usually a late match. And so then you've got 5 matches that are in the middle of the day. And that's pretty good because now you can reach a larger audience. Here's the 1-1. It's a breaking ball that misses outside. And the count now goes to 2-1. And so when you think about it in the Japanese league, if you break with some tradition, maybe a 1 o'clock start on a Saturday afternoon for the Carp, then a 4 o'clock start on Saturday afternoon for the Bay Stars, and then maybe you followed up with Saturday night with the Giants hosting another team. There's a fastball that is swung on and fouled away. It's going to count to 2-2. So you've got baseball from 1 in the afternoon, conceivably until about 10 o'clock at night. Friend Cash is in the house, and he says, how are you watching the game? Well, Cash, if you scroll up in the chat, there's been a number of folks that have given the advice on where to go and what website to look for. So if you want to scroll up the chat, if you still have a problem, then ask Alexander Leggett or the living room or Shotgun Shell. They might be able to help you out. There's a breaking ball that's swung on and tapped foul, and the count remains at 2-2. A lot of people will find the feed and then link up the English commentary that we provide here. So 2 balls and 2 strikes to Wakatsuki as he bats here with 1 out and the runner Tohoku at first. As the right-hander kicks and delivers. It is a breaking ball that is swung on and fouled away, and the count remains at 2-2. Takada, the pitcher for the Golden Eagles, the third pitcher used. Takayuki Kishi left the game following an injury. It looked like it might have been a hamstring. We don't want to speculate too much, but it looked like lower body injury after it kind of had slipped when he lost some footing on one of the pitches. Then Nishiguchi came in, and now it's Takada on the mound here as the fastball misses down, and the count goes to 3-2. So 3 balls and 2 strikes. Again, the right-hander ready to go again. His tempo and pace, Takada's, has been pretty good. As he gets the sign from his catcher, Sumitani, and he works to the set. Now he delivers. It's a breaking ball swung on and foul away. The runner, Wakatsuki, was on the move that time. So it's going to keep the count at 3 balls and 2 strikes. This is going to be the 9th pitch of the at-bat. That's something that we've seen in the Japanese league. There can be some marathon at-bats through the course of the ball game. Back in the 3rd inning, it was Chano who had a 10-pitch at-bat against the starter Kishi. Now here we are here, a couple innings later, and we're about to have another 10-pitch at-bat, this time Kenya Wakatsuki doing the battling. But you see that quite regular. There are tough outs in certain parts of the batting order. So again, Takada checks the runner over at first, and he works set to the belt. And now he kicks and delivers. There's a fastball swung on and fouled away, and the battle continues. Wakatsuki to be followed by Sho Gibbo. Gibbo has been hot at the plate, but he's also been absolutely outstanding in the field tonight as well. So 3 balls and 2 strikes to Wakatsuki. As the runner at first, Tohoku establishes his lead. Again, Takada checks the runner and he works to the set. He leans in, gets his sign, and ready to go again. And the pitch is on the way. It's a fastball that misses down. It's going to be ball 4. It's going to be a base on ball for Wakatsuki, and that's going to bring up the shortstop, Sho Gibbo. Well, for Gibbo tonight, he is 2 for 2. He has been very productive. He has driven in half of the runs for the Buffaloes tonight. He'd entered the ball game with nothing on his slash line, and now he's got himself 3 RBIs to break that up a bit. And on top of it, he's made some outstanding defensive plays at shortstop. I guess we're going to have to take away one of the hits there, as Gibbo had actually... That was an error charge to the shortstop on one of the plays. That was the one where the ball went under the glove of Wakatsuki. So I guess officially he is the one who is 1 for 2. There's a breaking ball that just misses, and the count now is 1 ball and no strikes. So I guess they took those RBIs away from him as well. Alexander Leggett says he's enjoying the stampede. There's a breaking ball swung on. This ball is lifted in deep center field. Racing back and making the catch on the run over the shoulder is Okajima. Tagging and heading to third is the runner, Tohoku, and he's going to slide in there safely. It's going to go down as a fly out to center field. That's going to retire Gibbo for the 2nd out of the inning. And I'll turn it over to the top of the order and to Tokumasu Chanu. Well, for Chano, he is 2 for 3 tonight. He's got a couple of singles in his 3 trips. He's also had a soft liner to the shortstop. So Chano ready to come to bat here. I have to tell you, we're 2 hours deep into this one, and we're not even through the 5th inning yet. And the Buffaloes are looking to add to their lead here. Runners at the corners and 2 gone. Chano at the plate. And here comes the pitch. It's a fastball that just misses outside for ball 1, and the count is 1-0. Really what has to happen is the Golden Eagles need to snuff out the Buffaloes here and then start chipping away with 1 or 2 of their own. We could have an entertaining ball game to the finish here, but the Eagles have looked lifeless. And here's the 1-0 pitch. It's a breaking ball. Take it for a called strike, and the count is 1-1. I should say lifeless in terms of their offense. They've had 3 hits tonight. They did get 2 hits in the last inning, but nonetheless, never really looked like a threat to do any damage. So 1 ball and 1 strike it is as the right-hander works to the set position. He checks the runner. And now he kicks and delivers. There's a breaking ball swung on. This ball is lifted down the line in left field. Giving chase is Shimauchi. And he's going to make the grab as he runs into foul territory. And that is going to do it here as Chano is retired for the 3rd out of the inning. Well, no runs in the inning. There was a hit. There were no errors, and there were 2 runners left aboard. We're moving to the bottom of the 5th inning as Tajima will continue his pitching performance for the Buffaloes. We'll be right back in just a couple, everybody. Appreciate you all for listening in. Here is our friend Steve Rademacher.
Hello, guys. Thank you for joining Freddie here on his baseball game. And I'm Steve Rademacher, and my channel is really all about everybody, including all my international friends. We have such stuff as non-sport packs from Canada, the OP Cheese. We have the Greek Freak. We have money from around the world. We have lira. We have yen. We have francs. We have pounds. We have Deutschmarks. We have all kinds of cool stuff like that. We even have some cooler things like Japanese women wrestlers and OP-Chi baseball cards where I cannot read the back. We even have unopened material like the royal family, I know it's backwards, from London, England. Thank you for watching. Back to Freddie.
Appreciate you there, Steve, and the support you give to our channel. And in turn, we support Steve Rademacher after the game. Be sure to check him out. He's got all kinds of crazy things, including his brother, who does a Takeover Tuesday on his channel. And he has some things there that are going to get most channels banned. But that is what we have is Steve Rademacher for his Takeover Tuesday. Well, coming to bat here for the Eagles, it is going to be the bottom third of the batting order. It's going to be Yuya Ogo, then Mikhail Franco, and Tsuyoshi Yamazaki. So 7, 8, and 9 to come to bat here. Ogo tonight is 0 for 1. He struck out his only time up as he gets ready to face the left-hander here in the ballgame. Eagles here find themselves down by an unconverted touchdown as they bat here in the bottom of the 5th inning. Buffaloes are playing good baseball as they are perched atop the Pacific League right now. And the first pitch here from Tajima is on its way. It's a fastball swung on and grounded foul over on the first base side. Count is 0-1. Oh yeah, I think if the Eagles got a run or two back here, this game could become very entertaining very quickly. We're just going to have to wait and see how this all plays out. Other games across the NPB tonight, and there'll be later starts. As the pitch is on the way, it's a breaking ball that misses inside. The count goes to 1-1. Only 2 games in the Central League. The Hiroshima Carp are playing the Chinichi Dragons. That is going to be at the Vantolin Dome in Nagoya. Aaron Curry goes to the hill for the Carp against Hideki Wakui for the Dragons. Of course, Wakui used to be a starter with the Golden Eagles last year. There's a breaking ball that misses down to Ogo, and the count is now 2-1. Swallows are playing the Tigers at the Koshin tonight. It is going to be Ishikawa going for the Yakult Swallows and Yuki Nishi for the Tigers. 2 balls and 1 strike it is here to Ogo as the left-hander holds to the set. And now he kicks and delivers. There's a fastball swung on. It's grounded over to first. Fielded neatly by the first baseman, Tagu, who steps on the bag. And that is going to retire Ogo on a ground out to 3. So he is retired for the first out of the inning, and that brings up Maikel Franco. Other games in the Pacific League tonight, the Chibolote Marines are playing the Saitama Cebu Lions. That game's at the Baluna Dome. It'll be Kazuya Ojima going for the Marines. He is 2-1 on the year. He's going to go up against Dietrich Enz, who's 1-4. I'll tell you, I think that Enz is probably going to pick up a win in that game tonight. I just feel that one. I think that would be easy money. There's a breaking ball swung on. This ball is belted to deep left field, but that ball is going to get hooked foul. As Franco turned on that one. No balls and 1 strike to Maikel Franco. Franco tonight 0-1. He has seen his average drop to 181 on the season. As he bats here facing the lefty Tajima. The pitch is on the way. It's a fastball that misses down and away. The count is 1-1. The Hokkaido Nippon Ham Fighters are playing the Fukuoka SoftBank Hawks. It is Kenya Suzuki going for the Fighters. He's 3-1 with a beautiful ERA of 0. As here comes the 1-1 offering. It's a fastball swung on and fouled away. The count now goes to 1-2 on Franco. He's going to go against the former closer, now turned starter for the Hawks, Yuto Mori. Mori was 1-0, and he's got an ERA of 0. He was brilliant in his debut. So something has to give there, as that looks like a tasty pitching matchup. Here comes the 1-2 pitch. It's a fastball swung on, is grounded softly to short. Gibbo fields it. He throws to first, and that is going to retire Franco on a ground out 6-3. So he is gone for the second out of the inning, and that's going to bring up the shortstop, Tsuyoshi Yamazaki. Well, for Yamazaki, he is 0-1 tonight. He has flown out to left field his only time up. So Yamazaki batting from the left side against the left-handed throwing Tajima. And it's a slow breaking ball that drops in for a called strike, and the count is 0-1. Tajima now at 66 pitches. I would have wrote him off for dead a few innings ago. And there's a fastball swung on it, is grounded up the middle, fielded by the shortstop Gibbo. He throws to first, and that is going to do it. Yamazaki is going to be retired on a ground out 6-3, and that will do it here in the 5th inning. No runs, no hits, no errors, and nobody left the board. But now through 5 complete, your score is the Buffaloes 6 and the Eagles no score. Stick around, everybody. We're going to be back in just a couple of moments. We appreciate everybody for listening in. I've been a little slow on keeping up with the chat here, so we will be back in just a few as we will continue to help you out here. Appreciate you guys for listening in. We're going to put the song on loop here because it is the 5th going to the 6th inning and an extended break in Japan. It'll give me a chance to get up and get myself some fresh coffee. We'll be back to bring this one home for you in just a few minutes. Hang tight, everybody. We'll be right back.
Well, you've got to have an ace in the hole, a little secret that nobody knows. Life is a gamble, a game we all play, but you've got to save something for a rainy day. You've got to learn to play your cards right if you expect to win in life. Don't put it all on the line for just one roll. You've got to have an ace in the hole.
Hello, this is Eric Fox, formerly of the Oakland A's and Texas Rangers baseball teams. If you want to learn about Japanese baseball, see Coach Fred of Last Raps Baseball. If you want baseball instruction, see Coach Fred. If you want to learn about golf, do not go to Coach Fred. Fred, what kind of club is this?
At Last Raps Baseball, we know baseball. The right-hander who has come on in relief, Takada, is going to continue on for his third inning of work. 36 pitches in his 2 innings thus far, as he has come in and steadied the ship, so to speak, as the Golden Eagles have been able to keep the Buffaloes at bay through the 4th and 5th innings. It has been a series of 3-run innings for the Buffaloes. In the 2nd inning, Yumamune led off with a single. Then it was Tongu hitting a single. And with 1 out, it was Kenya Wakatsuki doubling home a run for the first of the ball game. Then Sho Gibbo came to the plate, and he ended up singling home a run. And that was made the score 2-0. And then it was Shuhei Fukuda singling home another run. And that was a 3-0 lead in the 2nd. They added 3 more in the 3rd. Frank Schwindel led off with a single, and with 1 out, Yuma Tongu singled. Marwin Gonzalez singled. And then Sho Gibbo brought home a pair of runs on an error by the shortstop Yamazaki. And then it was a RBI single by Chano that made the scoreline 6-0, and that's where we stand here now. So now we're ready to resume the action, as it is be Fukuda coming to bat here. He is 1 for 3 tonight. Our friend Sean has jumped in here. Welcome, Sean. The first pitch is a fastball taken for a called strike. The count is 0-1 to Fukuda. Fukuda, as we said, 1 for 3 in this one, with the RBI single back in the 2nd inning. He's also grounded into a double play, and he's popped out to the second baseman. Our friend BVP says he's going to continue to listen, but probably won't be active in the chat. We appreciate you for being here as always and your support, as that fastball is taken for a strike. And now the 0-2 is on the way, and it's a fastball swung on and fouled away by Fukuda, and the count now is going to remain at 0-2. We'll be back on the airwaves again tomorrow night, so hopefully BVP, you can join us again. As that fastball misses down and away, and the count is now 1-2 to Fukuda. Same 2 teams, same place, same time. So hopefully that'll bring you back in for all the action once again, as the 1-2 pitch is ready to be served up as Takada delivers. It's a fastball swung on, is grounded to short, fielded by Yamazaki. He throws to first, and that is going to retire the runner Fukuda on a ground out 6-3. And I want to give Sean a big thanks. We appreciate you, Sean, for sending us a super sticker. That's pretty cool. I tip your hat to you, and We'll have ourselves an iced tea a little later. That's going to bring up Kai Nakagawa to the plate. Nakagawa tonight, 0 for 3. He has popped to the shortstop, flown out to center, and he's grounded to the second baseman. And the first pitch is a fastball taken for a called strike, and the count is 0-1. So no balls and 1 strike. The right-hander now kicks and delivers. It's a breaking ball swung on. It is chopped over the head of the pitcher. Fielded by Yamazaki. He throws to first, but he almost threw it away. It was off the line. It's going to go down as an infield single. The pitcher, Takada, had jumped in the air. It ended up going off his glove. He couldn't make the play. The shortstop, Yamazaki, came charging in, but he couldn't quite do it. And Sean follows it up again with another deposit. We thank you again there, Sean. We much appreciate it. So that is a single here for Nakagawa. That's Sean keeps it up. We're going to have to start buying rounds for the chat. You know what happened there? When I watched the replay of this, it looked like it mistimed the jump. Was the pitcher on that one there. It went off his glove, and Takada, it just seemed to do it. And there's a fastball that's in the dirt. And that ball gets by the catcher. And that is going to be a wild pitch. That's going to advance Nakagawa over to second. So Nakagawa, the runner at second base now, and Frank Schwindel batting here with 1 ball and no strikes on him. So here we go. Schwindel is waiting here on the offering from the right-hander, who checks the runner at second and kicks and delivers. There's a breaking ball that drops in for a called strike, and the count is now 1-1. So 1 ball and 1 strike it is. And Sean hits us with another super sticker, and so we appreciate Sean again. That's right. Here's a ground ball hit over to short. Yamazaki fields it. He throws to first. And that's going to retire the runner on a ground out 6-3. Well, Troll says it keeps doing this. We're going to have to start needing live graphics. Well, not only on top of that, live graphics, probably we're going to have to do that in-person interview with number 96 of the Bay Stars. Get them to commit to using it on our channel. That would be lots of fun. Well, certainly the behind-the-scenes look will be coming when we are in Japan, and hopefully you guys will get a chance to enjoy the journey with us here in less than almost 100 days' time. So here comes the offering. As the right-hander delivers, there's a fastball swung on it. It is grounded over to second. Fielded neatly by Kobakata. He throws to first, and that is going to do it. That is going to be the it for the Buffaloes here in their half of the 6th. No runs in the inning. There was a hit, no errors, and there was 1 runner left aboard. We are now through 5.5 innings. We're going to the bottom of the 6th. Hang tight, everybody. 6-0 the score is for the Buffaloes. We'll be right back in just a few. Appreciate you guys for being here with us.
Hello, this is Eric Fox, formerly of the Oakland A's and Texas Rangers baseball teams. If you want to learn about Japanese baseball, see Coach Fred of Last Raps Baseball. If you want baseball instruction, see Coach Fred. If you want to learn about golf, do not go to Coach Fred. Fred, what kind of club is this?
At Last Raps Baseball, we know baseball. Well, once again, we appreciate Sean and your support of the channel. And so that is much appreciated, and we thank you for that. And as I said, once we are over in Japan here in less than 100 days, we're going to have some fun on some of the stuff that we're going to do. So hopefully people can stay with us for some of the lives and some of the other stuff as well. We'll be back in 30 after this with some cheerleaders. Welcome back, everybody. It is going to be the bottom of the 6th inning. Based on what I'm believing, it looks like it's going to be the end of the night for the pitcher Takada, as he is talking with the manager. It's going to be the top of the order coming up for the Eagles. That means Kobakata, Shimauchi, and Ito to try to solve the mystery of Daiki Tajima. Our friend Living Room is, of course, being sarcastic because he has all the feet picks that he can give to you here. The first pitch is a fastball bunted and fouled away by Kobakata, and the count is quickly 0-1. Kobakata 0 for 2 tonight. He has struck out twice. He entered the ball game hitting at 257, the homer and 5 RBIs, not able to get things started in the top of the order. And there's a fastball swung on. It is lined right to the second baseman. Oh, Kobakata hit the ball hard, but right to the glove of Marwin Gonzalez, and he is going to be retired for the first out of the inning. We appreciate you. We appreciate you for that, Sean, and we thank you for your support, as that is very kind of you in which to do it. And hopefully you come on back and listen into some of the games in the future. There are some folks who do come around and help some of the smaller channels out. There's a first pitch fastball that is taken for a called strike, and the count is quickly 0-1. So no balls and 1 strike it is to Hiroki Shimauchi. Shimauchi is 1 for 2 on the ball game here tonight. As the pitch is on the way, it's a fastball swung on, and this is lined down the right field line. If it stays fair, it's going to be gone, but no, it's going to hook foul. Shimauchi sent it for a long ride, but just not quite straight enough, as it just hooked to the right of the foul pole. We'll get a different look at it here. I thought for sure that might have had a chance, and it did not miss by much. And again, Sean, we thank you once again. We thank you for your support to the channel, and as I said, that'll buy a few bowls of ramen for sure. There's a fastball that's taken for a called third strike. Shimauchi stood there like the house by the side of the road. He watched that go by for out number 2. And that is going to do it here. 2 gone. And that is going to bring up the first baseman, Yukiya Ito. You know, another thanks to Sean for the donation. And just to talk about it a little bit, it's kind of interesting. We started doing the channel with regards to, we've had the channel since 2010. Never did anything at all on YouTube until really February of 2020, just before the pandemic. There's a breaking ball that misses down, and the count now is 1 ball and no strikes to Yukiya Ito. Ito tonight is 0 for 2. He's flown to left and flown to center. And one of the things when we started doing it, we started doing some of the Japanese games up late night, watching it here on the West Coast. And there's a fastball swung on. It is lifted into deep right field. Moving over underneath it and making the grab is the right fielder Chano, and that is going to do it. And that is going to do it for the Eagles in their half of the inning. No runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left the board. Your score after 6 is 6-0. There is going to be a pitching change. I'm going to come back and I'll talk about the channel and how it got going. And we were literally calling ball games to 2 people. Ben Roberts, who has been in here a little bit this year. Some of you guys may have seen Ben around. He was an American living in Yokohama at the time. And the other one was a Korean fella living in Vietnam. And those were the only 2 guys that were listening to our stream because we were so small at the time. And that's how we got things going. But then after that, we've picked up a lot of people along the way, and it's been a lot of fun in doing it. And that's where we stand right now. Hang tight, everybody. I'll be right back in just a couple, and we'll keep talking about some of the stuff and how it's evolved here in the last couple of years. And it wouldn't be evolving if it wasn't for the people listening into the channel like you guys and enjoying here with us. We'll be right back after this. Welcome back, everybody. It is again another hats off to Sean. We thank you again very kindly. It's an interesting time, when you come from a different part of the country and then you get a chance to live out in a different spot of the world. I know the living room is actually from my hometown. I never knew anything about the living room until you started to listen to our games last year. And then from that part there, we came and basically got a chance to meet them. We talk about sometimes about meeting your listeners live. And I know there's another fella, John Doherty, he's actually in Vancouver right now. He had sent me an email earlier today. And I don't know if, unfortunately, because of my time constraints, if I'm going to be able to catch up or maybe even to get a chance to meet John. But sometimes it's just for a coffee or whatever else. And we've had a fortunate opportunity to meet some different people over the last number of years. Here's the first offering, as it is a fastball swung on and grounded over to short. Yamazaki fields it. He throws to first. That's going to retire the leadoff hitter here in Yumatongu. It is Chihao Sung who is now in the ballgame pitching. So ground out 6-3. Out number one here for Tonga. That brings up Marwin Gonzalez to the plate. Chihao Sung, unfortunately, he's kind of found himself away. A couple of years ago, last year and 2 years ago, he really pitched well. And he just really hasn't seemed to have regained that same form. As the right-hander is working here in the seventh. He kicks and delivers. It's a fastball that misses inside for a ball, and the count is 1-0. And as we basically said, in calling some of these games and in doing it, we get to share the love that we have for the game with the people that are listening in. And if that's a opportunity, if there's means that people want to donate, that's great, because that hopefully can make our channel better as well in the future. And as I said, I'll be off in Japan for about 3 weeks in August and in September. And so hopefully be able to do some videos and take you guys, I don't want to say behind the scenes, but certainly involved in some of the stuff that maybe people can't see regular. There's a fastball swung on. This ball is belted into deep right field. Moking back is the right fielder, Ogo, and that ball is going to be gone. A home run for Marwin Gonzalez, as he has taken that one deep and extended the score to 7-0. Gonzalez has hit his 6th homer of the year. He's having himself a nice ball game here tonight, both at the plate and defensively. And that is now a 7-0 lead here for the Buffaloes. That is going to bring up the catcher, Kenya Wakatsuki. Our friend Alexander Leggett says, do you have any criteria? One of the things that's also interesting, we have a fella here. When I was involved with the baseball program here in British Columbia, there was a fastball that swung on and fouled away. You sometimes come across some people, and I've, of course, maintained a friendship with this fella. And that is that, I won't say who it is, but there was a man who started the baseball program at the University of British Columbia who took $1 million of his own money. There's a fastball swung on, grounded over to short. They throw it to first, and that is going to retire Wakatsuki on a ground out 6-3. And then he went out and raised $2 more million of his own. And that was a pretty good start to the baseball program at the University of British Columbia. So 2 gone here, and that brings up Sho Gibbo to the plate. And anyways, basically what had happened was it was pretty good seed money for the program to get going. And it gave an opportunity for a lot of kids in Canada and also in the Pacific Northwest. We have some American players too. As there's a fastball swung on and missed. The count is 0-1 to Sho Gibbo. And the opportunity that allowed was for the players to be able to have a top-notch facility and some pretty solid coaching to be able to play, especially down in the States. And of course, it's NAIA ball, as there's a fastball swung on and fouled away. Count is 0-2 to Gibbo. But that is just the way it kind of goes. And, there are people that are in positions that can do those type of things, that have maybe earned their money or made their money in different ways and can provide back into the community, and hopefully keeps it going. For every dollar that's donated, hopefully it creates $10 more somewhere else. Here's the 0-2 pitch. It's a fastball that misses down, and the count goes to 1-2. So 1 ball and 2 strikes. Yeah, we've had a few broadcasts, that's for sure, over time. It's been a lot of the stuff, and I can honestly say if you go back and listen to some of the original ones, some of them were actually kind of painful. There's a fastball that misses down, and the count is 2-2. Painful because even here we're trying to work on our own craft of calling the games, trying to work on our own stuff, trying to make it better for the listeners, becoming more engaging. Here's the 2-2 pitch. There's a fastball swung on and missed, and Gibbo goes down on strikes for the third out of the inning, and that is going to do it here in the seventh. There was one run in the inning on the solo shot by Marwin Gonzalez. One hit, no errors, and nobody left the board. We are now moving to the bottom of the seventh inning. Your score is the Buffaloes 7 and the Eagles nothing. Hang tight, everybody. We'll be right back in just a couple moments. We appreciate you guys all for being here with us tonight. And hang tight. We'll be right back after this. Another one of our Japanese Baseball Hall of Fame memories. Hopefully we can create some more when we go next time with some better photography and maybe even some more videos.
Hello? Oh, hey. Yep. I'm just sitting here listening to Freddie call another game here on YouTube. Oh, yeah, going really good. He's calling a great game. Really exciting. Lots of stuff going on. You're lucky it's commercial break right now. I got a second. Oh, yeah, of course I'm having a cold one. Oh, yeah, got plenty of videos coming up this week. You should stop in. Check them out. Leave a like, tell other people. But Freddie's coming back. I gotta go catch the game. I will check in with you later. You have a good night, buddy. Bye.
Welcome back, everybody. It is going to be the heart of the batting order coming to bat for the Eagles in their half of the seventh inning. And if you would have asked me at the beginning of the game if Daiki Tajima would be on the mound in inning number 7, I probably would have snickered and laughed a little bit, but he is, and it's going to be Asamura, Okajima, and Sumitani to bat here. Looks like Marwin Gonzalez with that home run. His night is going to be over. They've got a replacement in at second base for him. It looks like it's Noguchi, but I'll have to do a double take on that one. So Asamura steps to the plate. He's got a hit in 2 trips. Only one of the 3 hits that the Eagles have tonight belong to him, and there's a fastball that misses inside for ball 1, and the count is 1-0. Sean says he also pulled in some money on the 76ers win here tonight, and there's a fastball that's taken for a called strike, and the count is 1-1. So 1 ball and 1 strike. Just as a side note, we were talking about gambling and talking about stuff. One of the things that I found very interesting was, I don't know if you guys are into college baseball in the States, but there was the firing of the Alabama coach, I guess about a week or so, or within the last week. So that breaking ball misses down, and it's now 2-1 to Asamura. Apparently, he was tipping off somebody or a buddy or a bookie or something in the state of Ohio. There's a breaking ball that misses down, and the count is 3-1. Usually, it's tradition in NCAA baseball that the ace of the staff would go on Friday night. Well, if he wasn't running the ace of the staff, he apparently had made a change and threw somebody else, but let somebody know to put some big money down on the game. There's a fastball swung on it. It's grounded over to the right side of the infield. Fielded neatly by the second baseman who throws to first. Nice play by Tongu. I think he's held the bag. We're going to see here if they're going to maybe review that or not. That was a really tough play by the second baseman. As we said, that was grounded into the 4-hole. And the next thing you know is that's going to retire the batter Asamura on a ground out 4-3. There was almost a collision at first base because Tongu, the way he had caught it, actually, they are going to go and have a look at this. So we won't put it down yet as a ground out 4-3. As that ground out was there. We're going to wait to see here. We're going to get a look at it again. I think he may have held the bag. It was a tough play because Asamura had got down the line, had the base, and he had the hurdle over top of Tongu. I think that's still going to be an out. I think as long as he controlled the ball, that is probably going to be there. This may not be a long journey under the hood for these officials. And just as we suspected, out comes the umpire. They've lost a challenge, and that's going to be a ground out 4-3. And that is going to bring up Takeru Okajima. Just have to do a quick check to see who the replacement for Gonzalez is in this one here. I thought it was Noguchi, but what a fantastic play it was by the second baseman. We'll get a look here. As it's actually Oshiro who's now in at second base. That's Koji Oshiro who made that great play. And the first pitch is a fastball that's taken for a called strike, and the count is 0-1 to Okajima. So Koji Oshiro with that fine play at second. That'd probably be another one to get to the Web Gems. As that last pitch was a fastball that misses outside, the count goes to 1-1. So here comes the offering from the lefty. It's a fastball swung on and fouled away. Count now goes to 1-2 on Okajima. So 1 ball and 2 strikes as the lefty ready to go again. And now he kicks and delivers. There's a fastball swung on. It is taken on one hop by the shortstop, Gibbo. He throws to first, and that is going to retire Okajima on a ground out 6-3. I have to say, some of the balls here hit by the Eagles in the last couple of innings have been really struck hard, and they've got to be talking to themselves getting back into the dugout. That was a one-hop shot right to the shortstop. Drops to a knee to make the play, and then he fired over to first base. And that is retiring Okajima for the second out of the inning. Now that's going to bring up Jinjiro Sumitani. Well, for Sumitani, he steps to the plate. He's 0 for 2 tonight. As the lefty kicks and delivers, there's a breaking ball that drops in for a called strike, and the count is 0-1. Just back to some of the things, I know if anybody ever watches some of the stuff here, vidIQ is actually a channel that's online here as the breaking ball swung on and missed. Count is 0-2. If you've ever seen vidIQ is kind of for creators. They tell creators what they should and not say should and shouldn't do, but they give them advice of what YouTube is doing. They follow the YouTube trends. They watch their stuff. But one of the things that I get out of that is just seeing how people create their stuff and how they do things, how they present it. It's kind of cool. As that fastball swung on and fouled away, and the count remains at 0-2. So they talk about different things within your platform, within your streams. And if you get a chance, there used to be a fellow, he's an English guy, who actually is, so there's a breaking ball that misses down and in, the count is 1-2. And that is, I would say, one of the things that's kind of interesting about he was an English guy who was living here in Vancouver. His name's Rob. I don't know his last name. As there's a breaking ball that misses outside, the count goes to 2-2. But they definitely help the young creator channels out, and it kind of cleans you up a little bit when you watch some of the stuff. It's kind of neat. So here comes the 2-2. As the pitch is a breaking ball that misses down, and the count now goes to 3-2. So 3 balls and 2 strikes here to Sumitani. So 3 balls and 2 strikes. As the lefty ready to go again, and he kicks and fires. It is a breaking ball swung on and grounded foul over on the third base side. That keeps the count at 3 balls and 2 strikes. So 3 balls and 2 strikes it is here to Jinjiro Sumitani. As the lefty works to the set position and now delivers. It's a fastball swung on and missed Simatani goes down on strikes. The Eagles go down in order again. 3 up, 3 down. And Tajima just continues to get better as this game moves along. That is 10 in a row retired by the lefty. And no runs, no hits, no errors, and nobody left the board here in the 7th inning. And we are now moving to the top of the 8th. It is the Buffaloes 7 and the Eagles no score. Hang tight, everybody. We'll be back with the call in just a couple of moments. We appreciate everybody for listening in here tonight. We thank you guys for all stopping in. We'll be right back in just a few. There's another one of our friends. This is Matt Hollis.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Namaste. Hey, I hope you guys have been enjoying the game. My name is Hollis. I've got a YouTube channel called Another Hollis Build. I love baseball cards. I open up brand new product for you guys. I open up old stuff. I do breaks. I do auctions. All kinds of stuff concerning baseball. I'm Friars faithful, Padres to the end. I also love Garbage Pail Kids and my animals. I have a ton of animals. It's like a mini petting zoo here around my house. I also love my city. San Diego, baby. I'll take you all around the city and show you what's up. If you guys dig stuff like that, cruise on over and check it out. It's Another Hollis Build. If you dig it, subscribe. I'd really appreciate to have more follow me along on the journey. Hey, either way, you guys have a wonderful day or a beautiful, beautiful evening. No matter which one it is, make sure that you make it great, my friends. Big up Last Raps Baseball. Yeah, Freddie, let's go. One love and peace. Yeah, man.
As always, appreciate you, Matt Hollis, and the support you give to our channel. Be sure after the game to go check out Another Hollis Build. He's got all kinds of crazy things on in his channel. We do have a pitching change, as it is going to be a left-hander now coming in for the Golden Eagles. I'll get you his specs in just a second. This is going to be number 56, Sho Suzuki. And for Suzuki on the season, it's going to be his 15th appearance. He's got 1 win and no losses. He has worked 11 innings. He's allowed 9 hits. He has walked 8, struck out 13, and another fluffed up ERA of 5.73. They just keep rolling out of the pen, and they keep getting uglier and uglier. It's too bad here for the Golden Eagles. They have really, really, really struggled this year. When I looked at Chihao Song, his line here, he actually has been roughed up as well. It was only his 7th appearance, and his ERA we were talking about is up to 6. There are changes in the field as well, but we're going to have to get you those as we go. It looks like Bobakata is off of second base, and he is into the outfield. So coming up to bat, it'll be Chano, Fukuda, and Nakagawa. One thing I will say is that the Japanese fans, you have to tip your hat to them. The team could be down 7-0. It's in the 8th inning, and there's not too many people leaving the ball game yet. Not like Kansas City, where people will arrive in the 3rd and leave in the 7th inning. On most nights, as that fastball misses down and in, the count is 1-0. So 1 ball and no strikes to Chano. As the pitch is a fastball swung on and fouled away. And the count now goes to 1-1. So 1 ball and 1 strike to Chano. So Suzuki ready to deliver again as he holds to the set. Nobody on base, and he's still throwing from the stretch. There's a fastball swung on. It's taken by 1 hop by Franco. He gets up and he throws to first. Now that's a defensive play. Gotta say, we've seen a lot of leather flashed in this game here tonight, and another great play, this time by the Golden Eagles. That goes in the books as a ground out 5-3. 1 hop smash right to the third baseman. That puts the hot in hot corner. Really good job on how low he stays to the ground, gets to his feet, fires a bullet across the diamond to be able to get Chano. That is 1 out here in the 8th inning, and that's going to bring up Shuhei Fukuda. And the first offering here to Fukuda comes from Suzuki. It's a fastball that comes inside and has hit him. And that is going to put Fukuda over to first with a hit by pitch. And that's going to bring up Kai Nakagawa to the plate. And we want to thank Sean once again for another super sticker. We thank you again kindly. Bounced away for a couple moments there from our look at our B feed. And Sean hit us with another one there. We thank you again for your support. Well, Fukuda, the runner at first, Nakagawa strides in. He's 1 for 4 tonight. He singled his last time up. He's flown out, he's popped out, and he has grounded out. There's a breaking ball that piles in for a called strike, and the count goes to 0-1. Our friend in the living room says he's rooting for Sean, and he's bet over 9.5. Well, I don't know if that's going to happen in this one. Although another base runner and one swing of the bat could do it, especially with Frank Schwindel waiting on deck. As that breaking ball misses down and the count goes even to 1-1. As I said, tomorrow night, if I'm in the mood, I can't do it tonight because I've got to get up in a few hours. I've got to go make some kids better tomorrow morning. I've got one boy who's coming in to do some hitting. So here comes the 1-1 pitch. There's a breaking ball swung on and fouled away. The count goes to 1-2. But I've got probably tomorrow night we'll call this one, and we may call a second game. If the second game ends in a reasonable, or the first game ends in a reasonable time, I may stay up and do a twin bill. So 1 ball and 2 strikes. As Nakagawa here waits on the offering, and the pitch is on the way. It's a breaking ball down, and the count now goes to 2-2 on Nakagawa. So 2 balls and 2 strikes. As the lefty ready to go again. Leads in and he gets his sign, and waiting here on the offering as we look like we have timed out just for a moment. It's 3 balls and 2 strikes here to Nakagawa. As we fall just a little bit behind. Here comes the offering now from the lefty. He checks the runner. And now he kicks and delivers. There's a breaking ball swung on. It is lifted down the right field line. It's going to be foul. It's going to reach the seats. So 3 balls and 2 strikes it remains to Nakagawa here. As the lefty Suzuki ready to go again. Nakagawa waiting here at the plate. The brass for the Buffaloes look on. And the 3-2 is ready to go. And here's the pitch. It is a fastball that misses down and in. It's going to be ball 4. And Nakagawa is going to get himself aboard with a base on balls. And that's going to bring Schwindel to the plate. There you have it. That sets the table for the over 9.5. Our living room's probably giving a fist pump or two right now. That's what he's going to want to see here in this situation. Frank Schwindel scheduled to come to bat. Let's see if he is going to come to bat in this one. Maybe he'll be swinging from his backside to try to do some damage here. While Schwindel digs in with runners at first and second and 1 gone. Waiting here on the first offering from Suzuki. And there is a fastball taken for a called strike, and the count is 0-1. Andy says a doubleheader. Andy hasn't been around long enough to know when last year we were doing triple headers. We'd do a MLB game, and then we'd do a back-to-back Japanese doubleheader. And we'd do 3 games in a row. What a blast that was. And boy, were we tired the next day. So here comes the 0-1 pitch. It's a fastball swung on and lifted foul down the right field line. The count now goes to 0-2 on Schwindel. Sean pulling for the double play here. So Schwindel in the hole at 0-2. The runner at second is Fukuda. The runner at first, Nakagawa. And Yumamune waits his turn on deck. Left-hander against the right-hander as the lefty's ready to go. He kicks and delivers. There's a breaking ball that misses down, and the count is 1-2. So 1 ball and 2 strikes. I think last year, I forget what the number was, but I think we did 156 games last year between the NPB and MLB. I think it was about 100 around 100 or 90 to 100 NPB games. And then we did about 50 big league games. We haven't done any big league games this year. This time is of the essence. And here comes the 1-2 as the pitch is on the way. It is a breaking ball swung on. It is grounded over to second. They flip it to second for one. Back to first. It's going to be an inning-ending double play. That's going to go into the books as a 4-6-3 double play as Nakagawa raced at second for the second out. Schwindel at first for out number 3, and that is going to do it here. No runs in the inning. There were no hits, no errors, and 1 runner left aboard. We're moving to the bottom of the 8th inning. Your score is the Orix Buffaloes 7 and the Tohoku Rakuten Golden Eagles nothing. And just one finer point to that, 16 innings in a row in this series, the Eagles have not scored a run. We'll be back here in just a couple. We appreciate you guys for listening in. Here is our friend, Steve Rademacher.
Oh, hello. Oh, hey. Yep. I'm just sitting here listening to Freddie call another game here on YouTube. Oh, yeah, going really good. He's calling a great game. Really exciting. Lots of stuff going on. You're lucky it's commercial break right now. I got a second. Oh, yeah, of course I'm having a cold one. Oh, yeah, got plenty of videos coming up this week. You should stop in, check them out, leave a like, tell other people. But, Freddie's coming back. I got to go catch the game. I will check in with you later. You have a good night, buddy. Bye.
Appreciate you, Steve, and the support you give to our channel. Check out Steve Rademacher after the game. We'll be right back in just a few after this musical time out. Welcome back, everybody. We are moving now to the bottom of the 8th inning. And the starter, Daiki Tajima, has just been brilliant as he's retired the last 10 in a row. He's going to be facing the bottom third of the order here for the Eagles. It's going to be Ogo, Franco, and Yamazaki. He's only faced 3 batters over the minimum so far. He has thrown 91 pitches, and he has been absolutely electric. So Ogo, Franco, and Yamazaki here to face him in the 8th inning. As the lefty ready to go back to work. And it looks like we have a pinch hitter on our hands here. So it looks like that Ogo's night is going to be done. As we have to get a quick flip over here to get the number on this one. And the first pitch is a fastball swung on and missed. The count is quickly 0-1. This looks like it is Kaz Tanaka into pinch hit here. Tanaka on the season does not have a batting average yet. And the pitch is on the way. It's a fastball swung on and missed. The count now goes to 0-2. Tanaka has 10 at-bats so far. He's 0 for 10. He hasn't done anything else. He's got a couple of walks. He's struck out 4 times and grounded into a double play. So no balls and 2 strikes to Tanaka as Tajima ready to go again. And here's the pitch. It is a fastball that misses way outside. The count goes to 1-2. Again, it's a problem for the Eagles. They can't hit and they can't pitch. And that is an absolute recipe for disaster. And you throw in some shoddy fielding, that just takes the cake. That's where they are at this year. There was a fastball swung on and missed. And that is going to retire Tanaka. He is down for out number 1, and that is going to bring up the third baseman, Michael Franco. Well, as we said before, Franco's got to be talking to himself. He's 0 for 2 in this one. He has grounded out twice. And that is where we sit here so far. As the right-handed batter waits here on the offering from Tajima. And he pitches a fastball swung on. This ball is belted into deep left field. It's going to get over the head of the left fielder. Fukuda digging hard for second is Franco. Here comes the throw. It's not in time. He's going to slide in safely with a double, and that is going to be a one-out double here for Franco. And that's going to bring up the shortstop, Tsuyoshi Yamazaki. Well, for Yamazaki, he is 0 for 2 tonight in this one. He has flown up to left, and he's grounded to short. Franco was really hustling in. Oh, boy. That call was that play was closer than what we thought. The Buffaloes aren't going to challenge the play, but man, if that tag was maybe just a little bit quicker, or maybe the ball was a little bit there, that might have been that there. Our friend Alexander said Franco trying hard just to come up with nothing on these throws. There's the first pitch fastball that misses inside to Yamazaki, and the count is 1-0. Got to say, the crowd is still into it. The school kids that are there in their uniforms. As Yamazaki here is batting against the lefty Daiki Tajima. And here's the pitch. It is a fastball that misses inside, and the count now goes to 1-1. So 1 ball and 1 strike. Lefty Tajima ready to go back to work again. Check that. 2 balls and no strikes here to Yamazaki. As the lefty delivers, it is a fastball now. It's taken for a called strike, and now we go 2-1. 2 balls and 1 strike. 99 pitches for the left-hander here. He's about to break the 100 pitch barrier. I mean, last night, Shoshi Togo for the Giants threw over 140 pitches. It was crazy. Here's the 2-1. It is a breaking ball swung on and tap foul, and the count now goes to 2-2. So 2 balls and 2 strikes. Tajima, so far on the evening, and we're looking at his strikeout total. He's got 6 strikeouts by my books, as he's hunting for number 7 here. As the lefty holds set, checks the runner, and now he kicks and delivers. It's a breaking ball swung on and missed, and that is going to do it as Yamazaki is down on strikes for the second out of the inning. That'll bring up the top of the order in Hiroto Kobakata. Well, Kobakata strides to the plate. He is 0 for 3 tonight. He has struck out twice, and he has lined out to the second baseman. The last at bat was a scorcher. You'll feel hard done by that one. So 2 strikeouts here in the inning by Tajima. Yeah, Alexander said 140. That's exactly what it was. In a 9-2 ball game, you would have figured that they would have given him the opportunity to get to the showers by the time that score was 9-1 or whatever it was last night. Nope, they let him continue to ride it out as that fastball misses inside for ball 1. Our friend Tim in the house tonight, he's pounding his fist on the table here for the Buffaloes. So 1 ball and no strikes to Kobakata. There's a fastball swung on it, grounded softly to first, fielded by Tongu, who wins the race to the bag, and that is going to do it. It's a ground out to 3 for the third out of the inning. Well, there was no runs in the inning. There was the hustle double by Franco, which was the hit, no errors, and 1 runner left aboard. We're now through 8 complete. It is the Buffaloes with a healthy 7-0 lead over Golden Eagles. We'll be back here in just a couple of moments, everybody. Appreciate you guys for being here. And with Sean's patronage, I think we're going to have to do a few more commercials up, or at least a few more videos. We appreciate you again, Sean, here tonight. Here is another Japanese Hall of Fame memory. Welcome back, everybody. It is going to be a right-hander on the hill here. And this is going to be Tomohiro and Raku. So Tomohiro and Raku coming in. And Raku is going to be facing the part of the batting order. It's going to be Mune, Tongu, and Oshiro. So just the specs on Enraku as he is in the ball game here. He's going to be making his 12th appearance. He has no record. He has worked 11 1/3 innings this year. He's allowed 9 hits. He has walked 2. He has struck out 7. And he's got an ERA of 3.18. So one of the better arms here so far. Sean Weinberger, not a fan of some of the Japanese cheerleaders. Sean, if you would see those cheerleaders, and then I hate to say it, I got to be careful here on what I'm about to say, but if you would have saw when I was coaching in the Western Major League, some of the cheerleaders we had, those ones there, you would have said looked like dime pieces, because the ones that we had looked like they were the cast-offs of an offensive line. And the first pitch to Yuma Mune is a fastball taken for a called strike. The count is 0-1. There's different types of cows that are out there. There's heifers and Holsteins, and I think we had them all. Here comes the 0-1 pitch. There's a fastball swung on, and this is lifted foul down the left field line, and the count is 0-2. I think if I said that on national television, that would probably get us fired or banned. But because this is YouTube and we're having fun on our channel, we can kind of say what we want. And nobody's going to fire me. Here's the pitch. It is a breaking ball that misses down, and the count is 1-2. So 1 ball and 2 strikes. So 1 ball and 2 strikes to Mune. As the right-hander now kicks and delivers. There's a fastball that misses inside, and the count is now 2-2. Not even the fans could save Don Cherry back in the day. So I don't know if he had 9 lives like a cat. Maybe we've only expired a couple of them so far. We've got quite a few left to go. So 2 balls and 2 strikes to Mune. I remember the famous line from one of the coaches I was with. There's a fastball swung on. It's grounded over to third. Franco fields it. He fires to first. It's going to be a ground out 5-3 for the first out of the inning. And my thoughts on that, I always remember one of the guys I coached with used to say, you got to think about mixing in a salad once in a while. That was his famous line. So you can take that for what it's worth and figure it out from there. So Yuma Mune steps to the plate. Yuma Tongu steps to the plate. He is 3 for 4. He's had 3 singles. He's scored a couple of runs tonight. And here comes the first offering from the pitcher, Enraku. It's a breaking ball that misses down, and the count is 1-0. Our friend Living Room said, I consider himself a man of God. Yeah, those were some of the first words that would come out of my mouth. I would say, good God, what is this? 1 ball and no strikes to Tongu. As the right-hander kicks and delivers, there's a breaking ball that misses. Oh, that caught the inside corner. A late hand from the home plate umpire goes up. You run the count to 1-1. So 1 ball and 1 strike. It's into a 7-0 ball game. This could be the greatest. You guys could be around for the greatest comeback in Eagles history as a fastball misses outside and the count is 2-1. Our friend the Living Room says about Jack Morris, yeah, I might have to go for sensitivity training. I think that's what they sent Jack to do. So 2 balls and 1 strike as the pitch is a fastball swung on and fouled away, and the count now goes to 2 balls and 2 strikes. It's too bad. I really like Jack Morris. That is for sure. Our friend Sean says, let's not speak that into existence. Yeah, probably right there, Sean. We'll keep that there. Here comes the 2-2 pitch. It's a fastball swung on and fouled away, and the count remains at 2-2. If we had a different type of show here, we could create yet another channel and then give you the really behind the scenes looks. What goes on. So 2 balls and 2 strikes as the right-hander Enraku Looks to finish off Tongu here. And the pitch is a fastball that comes inside and has hit Tongu. That's going to get Tongu down to first base. That was the scene of the crime. I mentioned earlier this season when the Buffaloes were in Tohoku, Tongu got hit in the head. And he ended up being carried off on a bodyboard. He missed a few games. This one here was a fastball that ended up coming in and it hits him on the just above the body armor he has on the left elbow. And by the looks of it, they're going to have a pinch runner for him, and his day is going to be over. Friend Alexander Leggett said at his high school, a lot of unattractive girls would be on the cheer team. The prettiest ones were in the band and had the athleticism to be cheerleaders anyway. Alexander Leggett says, we need a tell-all over beers. There's a fastball that swung on and fouled away, and the count is quickly 0-1. Friend Tim said, did you hear about the A's announcer, Glenn Kuiper? Yeah, it's unfortunate. I haven't followed it tightly, but yeah, apparently he was either suspended or, for some of his comments. There's a pitch that's down and the count goes to 1-1. Sometimes there's things that are said and, guys are sometimes a little too critical of the players or critical or whatever it might be, and people don't like that. They don't like criticism. There's a fastball that misses outside. The count is now 2-1 here to Koji Oshiro. Oshiro, this is his first at bat here tonight as he came in to replace Marwin Gonzalez. Sometimes there's different reasonings why guys are either let go or moved along. They're trying to keep it rather plain. There's a fastball taken for a called strike. The count is 2-2. Sometimes people are too sensitive. So 2 balls and 2 strikes. Especially the ownership group. They're out here in Vancouver. There used to be a color broadcaster for the Canucks. His name was Tom Larscheid. And there's a fastball that misses down, and the count goes to 3-2. And Larscheid ended up getting gassed because he was too critical of the Vancouver Canucks. Of course, that's a couple of general managers ago, and 3 to go. Mike Gillis fired him, and then there was Jim Benning and Jim Rutherford had come along. There was a fastball swung on and fouled away, and the count remains at 2-2. So unfortunately, the part to that is that, and the disappointing part, at least in my mind, is the fact that he was speaking his mind, what everybody in the public wanted to say anyway, and ended up costing him his job for being objective. So 3 balls and 2 strikes here as Koji Oshiro waits, and it's a fastball that is swung on. This ball is lined into left field. It's going to get down for a base hit. So the hit parade continues here for the Buffaloes. That's going to be number 14 on the evening. A single here by Oshiro. That's going to put him at first, and it's going to move the pinch runner for Tongu over to second. And that is going to bring up the catcher, Kenya Wakatsuki. Alexander says the A's going to Vegas is what management wants. Yeah, that's unfortunate. And Tim also says, sad to think that Oakland's got no sports anymore. You're absolutely right. You're going to have to go to the other side of the bay. The Warriors, the A's, and the Raiders all gone. They've got nothing. There's a fastball that misses upstairs for a ball. Count is 1-0. Alexander Leggett says it's true. You have to be positive about your team. I think you have to be fair about your team. I remember when Al Kaline and George Kell used to call games for the Tigers. There's a fastball that misses down and away. Count is 2-0. And Kaline used to not hold back on certain players. I remember one time he was commenting on Rob Deere, and he said Rob Deere is a hack at the plate and a butcher in the field. And he really let it go because the fact is that sometimes players, they're not paying attention or listening, or they're not picking up on the cues. Then that's usually where they get skewered. There's a fastball swung on and it's grounded foul down the first base line, and the count is 2-1. 2 balls and 1 strike. Yeah, Andy Altman also makes a good point. He says, don't forget the California Golden Seals. They left to become the Cleveland Barons. You're absolutely correct. Andy, where's the missus tonight? We'll give you a shout out for her once again. Hope you guys are enjoying yourselves. There's a fastball that is swung on and missed, and the count now goes to 2-2. If I'm not mistaken, the California Golden Seals, before they were named the California Golden Seals, were known as the Oakland Seals. So here comes the 2-2 pitch. And there's a fastball swung on. This ball is grounded through the 4-hole. It's into right field. Here comes the runner around third, and they're going to throw on the brakes as they're not going to be able to score the runner. It's going to load the bases. Nice job there by the right fielder, Tanaka, to field the ball. He came up throwing. So the bases are full of Buffaloes. And as Tongu, the runner for Tongu is at third. It is Oshiro at second. Wakatsuki with the base hit is at first. That's going to bring up Sho Gibbo to the plate. Friend Bay Area Sports in the house tonight. Bay Area is overrated and overpriced. Well, I can't say that that's not the case about the overpriced part. We definitely are experiencing that up here as well. And it looks like we have a pinch hitter for Gibbo. This is going to be Kataro Kirbiashi. So Kirbiashi coming in here to pinch hit. And the first pitch he swings, it's a line drive into left field. It's going to get down for a base hit over the shortstop's head. Fielding it is Shimauchi. In comes the ball. It's cut off. That's going to increase the score line to 8-0. So Kirbiashi, who comes off the bench, gets himself an RBI single. Right now, there's a fight at the bat rack for the Buffaloes. They're fighting to get to the bats because they can't wait to face these Eagle pitchers. Oh, my goodness. The hit parade just continues to go here tonight. It's going to keep the bases loaded as Oshiro is at third. Wakatsuki's the runner at second. Kirbiashi is now the runner at first. And that's going to bring up the right fielder, Tokamasu Chano. So for those of you who have taken the over, our friend Troll Zaddy says, are we doing any other games tonight? We're not going to do it tonight. We may do a double dip tomorrow night, but we're going to have to knock it off on this one. Sean, we appreciate you stopping in tonight. We thank you for coming in, and your donations to the channel are kindly appreciated. We look forward to having you back in the future, as is everybody else that's in the stream as well. We look forward to you guys here too. So bases are loaded. And there is the first pitch to Chano. It's a fastball swung on and fouled away. And the count is 0-1. Check that now. 0-2 to Chano. So Chano batting here with no balls and 2 strikes. Bases are loaded, 1 gone. All of this has come about after the ground out by Mune. The hit batter of Tongu, and then 3 singles in a row have produced 1 run here for the Buffaloes. And there's a pitch. It's a fastball swung on. It's lifted into foul territory. Racing over is the third baseman, Franco, and he's going to reach into the camera well, and he's going to make the grab. That's going to retire Chano for the second out of the inning. Nice play there by Franco. That is going to bring up Shuhei Fukuda. Just as a reminder, when this game is over, we will do a recap and a roundup of the scoring. We will also sign off after that because really there's no other games until the 2 o'clock start Pacific time, 5 a.m. Eastern. So that's what we have here tonight. And the bases are loaded, and Daiki Tajima is up, looking like he's ready to come in to try to close this one out. There's a fastball taken for a called strike, and the count is 0-1. So no balls and 1 strike. Tajima up and throwing in front of the dugout. He's going to look for a shutout. Our friend Alexander Leggett earlier on said about the pitcher last night, Shoshi Togo, going for 140 pitches. There's a fastball that misses upstairs. The count is 1-1. Well, Daiki Tajima is well over 100 now. He's looking for a shutout. This is old school baseball at its finest. And what I thought about Togo earlier on, him going 140 pitches, if you've seen the bullpen of the Giants lately, you can wonder, there's little wonder to say we're not going to trust anybody else go out there, because your 130th pitch is better than somebody else's second or third pitch of the ball game, because we don't have a very good pen. I think that's the message the bullpen must be hearing too. It's that fastball misses, and the count is now 2-1. So 2 balls and 1 strike. As the righty delivers, it's a breaking ball that drops in for a called strike, and the count is now 2-2. So 2 balls and 2 strikes it is. So here comes the offering as the right-hander, and Raku holds set at the belt. And now he kicks and delivers. There's a fastball swung on it. It's popped up behind home plate. Simitani giving chase. Is he going to have room? And I don't know if he got it or if he got it off of the screen. Couldn't really tell there. We're going to have to see if the umpire is going to go up with the hand. It looks like it had hit the screen. And yep, it did. And that was a nice catch on the deflection. But it was just caught the screen just above where he was. It's going to keep the count at 2-2 to Fukuda. So the 33rd pitch of the inning ready to be delivered here by Enraku. And the pitch is on the way. It's a breaking ball swung on. It is lifted softly into left field. Moving over underneath it is Shimochi. He's going to make the catch, and that is going to do it. Our living room sports is tapping out already. He's going to miss the greatest comeback in Eagles history. That's out number 3 here. 1 run in the inning on the benefit of 3 hits. There was no errors and 1 runner left aboard. Your score is 8-0 for the Buffaloes. Eagles are coming to bat. We'll be back here in just a couple moments to bring this one home for you. We are moving to the bottom of the 9th. Hang tight. Well, Daiki Tajima is trying to come in here to finish off this ball game. And if he can possibly do it, that is going to give him a complete game shutout. We'll be back in 30 with all the action after this. Welcome back, everybody. We do have a couple of changes as we do have a new first baseman. It is going to be number 36. That's going to be Tetsuya Yamashi is going to take over at first base for Yuma Tongu. There are a couple of other changes, and it looks like the crowd is thinning out in Tohoku. They are not as confident that the comeback is going to happen either. It's going to be Shimochi, Ito, and Asamura to come to bat here. As Alexander Leggett says, they really just want to twist the knife tonight, the Buffaloes. I mean, yeah, 8-0 is the lead. So Shimochi ready to come to bat. As the lefty works to the set position. And now he kicks and delivers. It is a breaking ball that misses down, and the count is 1-0. 1 ball and no strikes to Shimochi. Shimochi, Ito, and Asamura here to face the lefty Tajima, who's trying to get himself a complete game shutout. As we said, he entered the ball game tonight, 30 2/3 innings. And there's a fastball swung on it, is lifted into straightaway center field. Moving over underneath it is Nakagawa. He's going to make the catch. And Shimauchi is going to be retired for out number 1. So 1 away here, and that's going to bring up Yukiya Ito. Well, Ito strides to the plate. He is 0 for 3 tonight. He has kept all the outfielders busy. He's flown to left, he's flown to center, and he has flown to right in his 3 trips. And the other part that I'm amazed about tonight is everybody who's hung in here for the game got an 8-0 blowout. I figured I'd be talking to myself by the 4th inning. We do appreciate everybody who has hung around with us. There's a breaking ball that misses down, and the count is 1-0 to Ito. Sometimes I remember we did a game a couple years ago, and the Hawks were pounding the Fighters, and I don't know, it was like a 16-1 ball game, and it felt like we were just talking to ourselves. There's a breaking ball that misses, and the count is now 2-0. So 2 balls and no strikes. And there's a pitch. It's a fastball swung on. This ball is belted into deep left field. And this ball is going to get down on the warning track. Digging for 2 is Ito. He's going to cruise in with a 1-out double. And some of our friends here who say they've got insurance might want to keep that insurance handy. That's going to bring up the designated hitter, Hideto Asamura. For Asamura tonight, he is 1 for 3. He's got a single in 3 trips. He's also flown to center and grounded to second. So Asamura stepping up here. A little surprised, too, on this one. I know it's the only game in the daytime, but boy, has it dragged on a little bit. 3 hours and 20 minutes. And really, when you think about it, yeah, I know there's been all kinds of traffic. 16 hits today for the Buffaloes. But on the flip side of the coin, it's only been, I believe, 5 hits now for the Eagles. And our friend Alexander Leggett says this is how the comeback starts. That's really when the living room taps out, then everything you know is going to go sideways. And here comes the pitch. It is a fastball that misses down and away, and the count is 1-0 to Asamura. The crowd, the high school kids are still in effect, still giving their support. Here comes the 1-0 as the lefty kicks and delivers. It is a fastball swung on. This ball is belted into deep left field. And this ball is gone. A home run and a souvenir for the high school kids who've hung around. A 2-run shot by Hideto Asamura. And that is going to make the scoreline 9-2. There goes your shutout. And maybe cue that comeback, because who knows? Maybe they're going to continue the hit parade. A 2-run bomb by Asamura. That's his 5th of the year. Also has driven in a couple of runs. That gives him 12 RBIs. So Asamura has hammered that one into the seats. After 17 shutout innings, they finally have allowed a couple of runs. Our friend Rose City Floor Hockey says, living room sports is awesome. I think that's a biased comment, if you know what I mean. And the living room cashed his 9.5. Yes, he did on one swing of the bat. Well, that looks like it's going to be it. Daiki Tajima is done on 110 pitches. He's not going to get a chance to finish this one off. He went 8 1/3 innings as he served up that 2-run homer to Asamura. We're going to take a timeout here as we do have a pitching change. And it is going to be a change here for the Buffaloes as they're going to try to close this one out. We'll be back here in just a couple moments, everybody. Hang tight.
Hey guys, while the manager's searching for a relief pitcher, let me help you with some relief channels. On top of mine and Freddy's, you can always check out Redbeard Breaks, Zero Fox Sports, you know another Hollis build, check them out again. Maybe Beast and Beauty Breaks, or even Dab's Family. Oh, looks like they have their pitcher So after the game, check out some other videos by Freddie. They're fun, they're cool. Enjoy the game. Peace out, and cheers.
Welcome back, everybody. We have a pitching change going on here in the bottom of the ninth inning. It is the scoreline of 8-2 for the Buffaloes, and we got one gone here. As scheduled to come to bat is Takiro Okajima. They do have the pitching change as they are bringing in a right-hander. Or the Orix Buffaloes. It is number 66 coming into the ball game, and we'll get you the specs on him in just a moment. This is going to be Yoshida in the ball game. I believe it's Ryo Yoshida, if my memory serves me correct, and that's exactly who it is. This is going to be his 7th appearance of the year. He's worked 4 2/3 innings. He's allowed 3 hits, 3 walks, and he has struck out 3. He's got an ERA of 1.93, and there's a first pitch fastball swung on. This ball is belted into deep left field, but this ball is going to hook foul into the stands. That's going to be 0-1 here to Okajima, and he's broken his bat. He's going to have to head back to the dugout to get a new piece of lumber. But welcome to the ball game, Ryo Yoshida, and it was like Okajima wanted to take him yard with the first pitch he saw. Check that. That's Oda at the plate pinch hitting for Okajima. We may see a steady diet of pinch hitters here. I didn't realize that was Oda. Oda did not get the start behind the plate. This is Hikaru Oda, one of the catchers. There's a fastball that misses down. And the count now is 1-1 strike to Oda. Crowd is in good form. They're cheering their Eagles on here as they're down by 6. 8-2 the scoreline. There's a breaking ball swung on and missed. The count now goes to 1-2. Waiting on deck is the catcher Jinjiro Sumitani. And now it looks like it's going to be Yasuda moving into the on-deck circle, so they are going to clean this one out. And here's the pitch. It is a breaking ball down, but they say that Oda has gone, and he is going to be down on strikes for the second out. And that is going to leave it all up to the final out here, or they've got one out to go to the Eagles. It's like it is going to be Yasuda, the other catcher, Yuma Yasuda, coming in to pinch hit. We'll confirm that for you here in just a second. All the catchers are getting a live at bat here in the end. So Ryo Yoshida ready to go again. Yasuda strides to the plate, and the first pitch is a breaking ball that drops in for a called strike. The count is 0-1. He's batting 182 this year. He's got a homer and 4 RBIs. 6 for 33 on the year. Here comes the offering from Ryo Yoshida. It's a breaking ball swung on. It is grounded to first. Fielded neatly by the first baseman. And he steps on the bag, and that is going to do it here as Yasuda is gone for the third out of the inning. Well, they got a couple of runs back in the inning, 2 runs on 2 hits. There was no errors and nobody left aboard. Your final score, the Orix Buffaloes 8 and the Tohoku Rakuten Golden Eagles 2. Hang tight, everybody. I'm going to wrap this one up for you in just a couple of moments. We appreciate you guys for being here. And I'm sorry, Tim, for getting burned on that one. But that is unfortunate. That last swing of there by Asamura, it skewered a few people. Hang tight, everybody. We'll be right back after this.
Good evening, sports fans. I hope you all have been enjoying the game. This is just another message from another Hollis build. I hope that your team is in the lead, but if not, remember, that's life. That's what all the people say. You're riding high in April, shot down in May. But you know I'm gonna change that tune. When I'm back on top in June. I said that's life, and as funny as it may seem, some people get their kicks stomping on my team, but I don't let it get me down. 'Cause this fine old world, it keeps spinning around. I hope you enjoy the rest of the game, and if it remains the same, remember, that's life. You want your fill? Go check another Hollis build on YouTube. Last Raps Baseball. Let's get back to the game. Let's go! You know that's life. You know it. One love and peace.
Welcome back, everybody. It is going to be the wrap-up here, as this was the only game that was going on so far this evening. The Orix Buffaloes jumped out to a 3-0 lead in the second inning with a single by Yuma Mune. It was followed up by a single by Yuma Tagu, and then with one out, it was a Kenya Wakatsuki RBI double. He knocked in the first run. And then up came Sho Gibbo to the bat, and he delivered a base hit. And that knocked in another run for them, as that scored at plated Tongu. And then with two out, it was Shuhei Fukuda who knocked in the third run of the inning with another single. So a series of singles with one double mixed in gave the Buffaloes a 3-0 lead. Well, they added to their lead in the third inning, a leadoff single by Frank Schwindel. With one out, Yuma Tongu singled again, as did Marwin Gonzalez to load the bases. And then up stepped Sho Gibbo. He had a ground ball up the middle, and it went under the glove of Yamazaki. And that plated 2 runs. It brought home Schwindel and Tongu to make the score 5-0. And then up stepped Tokumasa Chano, and he singled. And that brought home the third run of the inning in Marwin Gonzalez, and that made the score 6-0 for the Buffaloes. Buffaloes added to their lead in the seventh inning with one out. Marwin Gonzalez hit a solo shot to make the score 7-0. And then in the top of the ninth inning, with one out, Yuma Tongu was hit by a pitch. And then it was back-to-back singles by Oshiro Wakatsuki and Kirby-Ashi, with Kirby-Ashi knocking home Tongu with the 8th run of the ballgame. Well, the Eagles got 2 back in the bottom of the ninth inning. It was a one-out double by Ito, and up stepped Hideo Asamura. He deposited a 2-run shot into the left field seats, and that is where this game ended. I want to thank everybody for stopping into the stream tonight. Andy Altman-Orr, Alexander Leggett, the living room, Tim, our friend Sean Weinberger, everybody else who had stopped in. If I missed you, don't forget BVP, also our friend Shotgun Shell, and everybody else. We thank you guys for your support. It's been a fun night, and it's been an interesting night, but we do thank you guys for jumping in here, and we look forward to tomorrow night, as we will do these same 2 teams again, 10 p.m. Pacific or 1 a.m. Eastern. Hopefully you guys can make it in for all the action. Once again, we will be back on the airwaves again. Have a great night, everybody, and we will see you on the flip side tomorrow night.